I can... But my video is not in the window. Yeah, but you put all the news stories here, so I'm trying to not read it because I want to be surprised. Okay, I'm closing the window. I'm closing the window. I'm not.
Boom! All right, there we go. Hey, everyone, you can hear us now, right? See, I knew there was something.
What up, Corey?
Corey Novak in the chat. What's up, everyone? Can you guys hear us now? So you can hear one. Now you can hear both. And, all right, so just real quick. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the horror show. Wait, let me try that again. Hey, everyone. I'm Cecil Laird.
And I'm Jaime Fuego.
And this is the horror show news.
With booze, a moderate amount, nothing crazy-tastic
Cheers,
at this
cheers.
particular point.
And we have...
Salute, everybody.
Hear you loud. Okay, well, good Lord, I'm so sorry. Let me lower it for you. And we are joined today by a special guest, my upcoming co-host for a little show called Horribly Confused. That is Luke from Confused Reviews. Hello, Luke.
What up?
Yeah, there you go.
I can hear, like, do I make a joke or do I just say something like hello?
Do I just roll with that chisel?
All right, yes, sounds
Just get
perfect. That is a big list, gents. Yeah, tell me about it. And there's
And we actually
stories
had to pare it down from like maybe 30-something stuff because so I essentially looked through both April and May, which is when we did not do a news segment, and holy hell, there was so many bits about like, you know, reboots and new casting and you know, things about that nature. So let's roll as best we can, despite the daunting bit of stories. So
yeah, we have a lot to get to, so we might as well start the process. Now, Luke is unaware of the news stories we are going to cover, so you're going to get.
I'm
his
sure he's
genuine
looking
reaction.
at them now.
Jesus, we are.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to. I'm not reading them.
Man, I'm going to bring down our.
Yeah, I was about to say we are like Brady.
Hey,
Derry.
I must not be doing the right thing because it's not changing a damn thing.
I like how I'm just in the little left corner. I'm just a little aquarium.
Yeah, I just made you a little tiny boy.
He's like, I'm just kind of chilling.
I thought I was going in the window above you. I've been had.
because
like
that's
right
where
there
the
in the
story
middle?
pictures go.
Okay.
What did you
Story
want me to just
pictures.
overtake the story? Yeah, we gotta have graphics, bitch.
I was gonna say, could
Let's
could
go.
you gear
Bro.
him to the center where the mic is?
I was gonna just put a big window over the news with booze, and then I realized it's just his fucking head in the aquarium, and I said, "Who gives a fuck?"
I think it's
Sick.
I think it's funny.
All right, so story number one.
This was
this
mad
is a
I didn't
big
put
thing.
him in the aquarium.
This is a big thing, man.
I am.
Yeah. So this is the big thing, man. So they have been teasing a Welcome to Derry series after all of the success. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars until the R-rated Deadpool film comes out with Wolverine. This is still like the highest grossing as far as opening weekend. Joker beat it as far as, you know, the entirety of box office and everything. But biggest opening weekend for an R-rated horror film is the first It film. Mm-hmm. It killed gangbusters. It actually brought a lot of people to our channel at the time, which is really cool. And yeah, so they but they have the television series, and the one thing that I am encouraged about with regards to this television series is that they are a significant amount of segues.
Oh, I'm loud as fuck, I guess. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine, homie. But
That's according to Tyler.
But the big thing is that there are a lot of stuff that Mike excuse me,
Luke, can you reduce your intake microphone audio? You know what? I'll just bring you down. You're good.
I was gonna say you should be able to just left click on me. Left click on my.
Down. All right, you're down. You're down, bitch. You're down.
I'm saying with Discord you can do it.
I don't need your Discord shit.
I'm actually curious about this Discord.
Luke is louder than loud. Cecil and Fuego are slightly low. All right, I'm gonna put our mic back up. All right,
Cecil can't Discord. He's too old.
Fuck you. This salt and pepper beer does not indicate old. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry this isn't running on America Online.
I used to get those discs back in
Fuck.
the day, man, and I
hate
could
how
have
accurate
like
that
60
comment
hours of free internet access. It
Don't-
was grand.
Don't make a phone call or the stream is over.
Yeah, I was about to say, it took me like 30
You better
minutes
hope
to
no one in the house
download
picks
a
up their
pornographic image of a naked woman. So, yeah. Anywho,
yeah.
you know, I have a lot of faith in this because of the
I
fact
can
that...
barely hear Cecil and Fuego, they keep saying. God damn it. Hang on.
Really?
Let me check. Let me up the volume of the control panel and shit. Sound.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fine.
Well, if
on
you can
my...
only moderately
It sounds
hear
good
us,
to you?
who
You
saw
want- okay.
Furiosa,
Yeah.
who saw Garfield,
So-
who saw, like, any of the most recent things, Kingdom
wow,
of
it
the
is-
Planet
it
of
does
the
look pretty
Apes.
All right, hang on. I'll
I actually
pop
like
it up
Kingdom
What a
of the
wonderful
Planet of the
day.
Apes. Yes, exactly. I actually
What a
dug...
wonderful day.
Dude, I liked
All right,
Kingdom,
did
man.
that
Even
fix
if
it
they
at all?
were
I think
kind
I
of
should have
doing the
brought it
same
up.
thing that, you know, Furio, what a wonderful day, you know, with Nicholas Hoult, like, driving, and it was the same kind of line.
It's been a good year for monkey movies. We had that. We had Kong. We had Monkey Man. It's really been tight so far.
I dug
Kingdom of
Monkey
the
Man,
Planet of the
dude.
Apes?
Yeah, I dug the ultra violence. It was a little too erratic with some of the camera work for me at times, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
The decibel difference should be better now, Corey. Is it better?
How is it going, sir?
Sorry, I have a glowworm in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, the big thing, if we're at least going to tackle the story properly, is the fact that with HBO being behind the Welcome to Derry series, incredibly exciting, and...
Well, and we didn't know for sure if Skarsgård was going to do it.
he had teased it, he'd hinted at it.
Yeah,
He
but
was
we didn't know for sure.
I would imagine there was monetary negotiation transpiring between the two.
There we go. I can turn
I don't know if we're
down.
going to
You
see
guys
him
sound
in like
even. Okay,
every
cool.
episode, you know. But I mean, even in those flashbacks that Hanlon does in the book, you know, you see the entity that takes the guise of Pennywise for the losers in different variations, and so, but they'll obviously repurpose it to, you know, show him if he is attached to it at this point. I would imagine that may alter some scripting stuff. But Luke, dude, what I want to ask you, man, I mean. Did you see the original miniseries? And if not, what were your thoughts? Because I know you saw the most recent one, obviously. Yeah. What's your thoughts, man?
I got a whole motherfucking 40-minute bonanza on that bad.
Drop that
bad
shit,
boy.
motherfucker!
That I did many years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I'll
been
do
many
that.
years since it came out now. I mean, we're talking 2017.
7 years.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
Well, yeah,
crazy.
and my video is probably over 2 years old now at this point. It's talking about the first one, so I really like the first one. The second one is kind of a fucking stinker. It's kind of just the first movie, but worse.
I like aspects of it, you know, but that's because I'm a big book apologist, and the fact that they tried to do the jumping back and forth with the kids, like the original miniseries.
I think a miniseries would have probably been the best way to go about it originally. Like Netflix could have done that, like same time as Stranger Things. It probably would have been a huge fucking hit. It was like 8 parts. But that seems like what Max wants to do with it. So I could see it being good. I could also see it being just here's these movies again, but with a 60s paint job. So I hope it's not just that. But like you said, with Skarsgård attached, that's shit. That's good stuff. He's really good at, because I could see this getting recasted and it immediately just being a lot cheesier and much less intimidating.
Yeah, it ups the prowess for sure, man. You know, I mean, having his name attached. And also, Andy is directing 4 of the 8 episodes.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool.
Okay.
So, you know,
Yeah,
that's
I didn't know
another
that either.
big
That's
thing.
cool.
Yeah, that's another big thing. So, it's kind of a passion project to expand the lore of which there is so fucking much in Derry.
Well, and it's fun because, right, the movies updated the original story from the 60s to the 90s to the 90s to the 2010s or whatever. So the fact that they can still go back to the 60s and not retread ground that they've already tread, that's cool. And I actually kind of like that the first series we're getting is uncharted territory as far as story goes, right? The story was done in the 2 movies.
Yeah.
So now we don't need to waste time with that. We can get all
they can do new
all
stories.
creepy Pennywise shit. Like, even if Welcome to Derry is just 8 anthological episodes and not an overarching story, just 8 different scenarios that Pennywise gets involved in.
Yeah. And
that
he's
would be
only
fucking
there for
awesome.
like glimmers of it, like for little bits, when it's really like you're seeing the end game of the death of said characters and stuff, because he's reemerged within those 27 years.
I disagree, Motionless Zombie. I think Bill Skarsgård. I like Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise better.
Well, no. See, he's got a point. Let's have a post-stroke 80-year-old Tim Curry come back and do it again. Great idea, Motionless Zombie. That's a great idea. Let's call Hollywood about it.
Yeah, seriously.
Can we get them on the phone?
Yeah, Luke, we saw him a few years ago.
Sounded so angry.
But no, I mean, he's just giving the harsh assessment. Luke, dude, you're 100% on the ball, dude, because of the fact that, I mean, we saw him.
It's the same for people that are like, Robert
Englund
can only play Freddy. Let's bring him back.
Yeah.
I would like that, because I think he could probably still bring it, but yeah,
I think he still has it in him too.
I have a way for it to work, but besides that, I don't know.
But that's the thing, is I think, and I'll talk about this in probably 6 years when I finally get to doing the Freddy remake that I've been wanting to do.
Yeah.
But like, I think Jagger Haley did a good job. Like the movie
too, man.
sucks.
The makeup effects were terrible.
Yeah,
but
it was the script.
Everything
that was the
around
problem
him
in that movie.
Everything around him stunk, and I feel like he got thrown a really bad toss. And let him try it again. Who gives a fuck? Like, he's still alive. He's I don't think he's had a stroke yet. So fuck it.
Yeah, Luke, I'm actually 100% with you, man, because of the fact that I liked him in Watchmen. I liked him in some of the other stuff like Preacher. So I'm a big Jackie Earle Haley fan, and when that casting was initially announced, I was like, cool. I was up for it. I thought that if you're gonna go for a more menacing, like Freddy 1 and 2, it made sense. It was the fact that the script was just not
some Hollywood executives was watching him in Bad News Bears when he was a kid and went, he's gonna play Freddy one day.
Oh, that's right, with Walter Matthau. He was in that shit. Oh my god.
Well,
I actually like the one with Billy Bob, the remake. But
I've been hearing a lot of people say that outside of the people that are impossible that are saying that Kevin Bacon should be the new Freddy. I see a lot of people saying that
he still keeps doing horror movies. He's going to be in Maxine. He was just in that.
He's too old.
No, he's not.
Don't tell me you're one of those people.
Dude is aged pretty well.
He's
man.
6 years
Kevin Bacon's
old. Shut up. He's six.
Kevin Bacon's a hot piece of ass.
Shut up and
agree.
listen.
I agree
He's
with Luke.
7 years older than Robert was the last time he officially played Freddy. 7 years older than Robert the last time he played Freddy.
Look at
in
the way
any
those two
meaningful
have aged,
capacity.
though. I mean, shit, dude. I mean, Kevin Bacon is consulting the same peeps that are helping Paul Rudd and Brad Pitt and all those Tom Cruise, all those guys who look ageless,
babies.
and they're like 60. It's nuts, but whatever.
He's
Personal
too old to be
opinion.
Freddy.
Babies.
They're
babies.
All right, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
my
can-
video stopped looping. Also, I just realized.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Wait, I have a way to fix that. Hang on.
I wonder how long that's been like that.
Well, at least
Probably a
it's like
while.
a regular enough pose where you're just sitting there. It's
That
not
was
like
really
upside
neat.
down.
So
or
I have
anything.
the option to play once, play forever.
I just do play forever. Yeah. Now you're forever gonna be moving, Luke.
Let's
Go.
All right, so let's move on to story number 2.
Yeah, this is a biggie because this is a massive course correction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not
Massive.
moving. What, oh wait, there we go.
Massive. This is fucking ginormous status course correction. What's transpiring with this because they left that previous Believer Exorcist film open for maybe they could rescue the girl.
We're talking about The Exorcist.
We are. Yeah. So Luke, they tried to reboot similar to what they did. I mean,
Womp womp.
I know you. Okay, I perceive you as being aware of all
Finish
this
your
stuff,
hit
man.
before you talk, Luke.
Basically,
I mean, the same
let me
guy.
tell you a story. Let me
boy.
tell you two boys a story.
Here we
it's
go.
Lay
called
that shit on us.
It's
man.
called the Ballad of $400 million. Okay. Once upon a time, a studio called Universal came along and went, The Exorcist. It was a big movie.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Let's spend $400 million for the rights to it.
to the IP,
And-
which was nuts, dude. Because they were gonna put it on like Universal Horror Nights and all this shit, and yet, wow, talk about falling on your face, man. You know?
And then making a movie where the gimmick is, okay, the first one was about one little girl, this one's about two little girls, and then the fucking religious Avengers have to come together to stop Satan.
Yeah.
Pazuzu is in two little girls, and then the one girl gets banished to hell because her dad was a dick, and the movie sucked.
So you're saying you
was-
would rather Mike Flanagan continued that story, Luke? Is what you're saying?
I would rather that they not make any more Exorcist movies ever, but if they're gonna, fuck it, let him try it. You
I
seen
don't know,
Midnight
man.
Mass? God
You know,
damn.
You know,
supposedly he's
everybody
going to do a quote-unquote radical take. Jesus,
drastic,
that's a strong
drastic
drink, I mean.
departure
Holy
and
fuck.
all this
And
different stuff.
I bet it's
If
gonna
there's
be
anybody,
fantastic.
If there's anybody who can do it, man, I mean, that first Ouija film was such trash, and then he suddenly made me interested in a property that I had donuts of curiosity about. I mean, Flanagan is like a resuscitator in my estimation, and I mean, even back to Absentia, which was one of the first reviews Cecil did for the channel, man. I mean, Flanagan kicks ass. He is the best person to adapt anything Stephen King in my estimation. He has Life of Chuck, which he still hasn't found distribution for, which kind of blows, but with the star power of Karen Gillan, Mark Hamill, oh goodness, Loki himself. Why is his name eluding me?
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
How has he not
Tom
found
Hiddleston.
distribution for that yet?
Yeah, well, because of the fact that it's a very off-center. It's not a horror movie. It's like much more a dramatic with
Still.
thriller sort of aspects. But they wrap that shit. I think Flanagan. I mean, the biggest issue that I have with this is that I know his Dark Tower is not happening at this point. If he's taking on a property, well, I feel pretty certain. I would say 85 to 90%, because even before this announcement, he was talking about he was having difficulty because he signed that first look with Amazon, and yet Amazon passed on the previous version of the Dark Tower. So I don't think it's happening, Halo fans. You know, for anybody
and piggybacking,
who's chilling. Yeah.
Piggybacking off what you said about him doing anything Stephen King related, I would also say he should be doing anything with that little bit of religious flavor.
Yeah.
Because let me say this:
it's where he works
Midnight
best. Midnight
Mass.
Mass, dude. Yeah. I think it's the best.
Damn.
It's the best Stephen King thing that was not written by Stephen King, because it felt so much Stephen
Midnight
King,
Mass might
dude.
be the greatest television show I've ever seen. Like, I just need everyone to know that it's so good because it hits you. And I don't even want to say much about it if you haven't seen it, because you know what I'm talking about, where they don't really lay it all out there right away, and then when that twist happens, you're like, "Excuse me,"
and then
it just keeps hitting you.
And even better, Luke, like Cecil and I kind of like we had conjoined tears about the thinking of what happens when you die scene midway through that series, and that's one of the most pivotal and just like hitting me so emotionally and making me think about everything in the universe of existence.
That was an
and it's just and just the way it's shot, and all the performances feel so real, because like you've met all those people from that small town where like and the freaks and the guy who's just trying to get by with his kid. Like these are all just real characters that are really like well fleshed out, and he has it's just such a nice style. Like, I don't know, he the way he shoots things, I think could really benefit The Exorcist with like sweeping shots, dark hallways. Because like, I don't know, I can't imagine if he's saying on record that it's going to be a drastically different take and whatever.
They're like retconning
it's not gonna
everything from Believer, from what I understand. So,
which is fine. Fuck it. We'll put it in the pile with Exorcist 2.
I mean, it was
and
essentially
part 4 where there's 2 cuts of it and whatever the fuck. Like, it doesn't matter. They've been making shitty Exorcist movies since I Am Pazuzu. Like, we've been. They're never gonna stop.
3 is gangster though, dude. The one with George C. Scott is badass. I love that.
Brad Dourif swooping in with like a career best, just cuz. Oh my god!
It's
the way
awesome.
he enunciates every word is just like, oh. But anyway.
Well, and even those early discussions with him and the priest who dies like pretty early on, just when they're sitting in the bar like chatting with each other, the snippiness of the dialogue is so fast paced and just articulate.
That's a real
really
20-year
awesome.
friendship. Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, good stuff.
And then, of course, also announced is that Mike Flanagan is now a producer on Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks movie.
Oh yeah, that's the guy who won't review movies anymore because he's in the business.
He still reviews movies if he likes them.
Oh, sorry, he's just a giant bitch, and he won't say anything negative about it because God forbid the guy who directed Madam Web might hear about it.
I'm still a Stuckman apologist, honestly.
Why? Because he cried when RLM called him a prick?
Nah, because of the fact that I've been watching him for years and years, and so I can understand him backing off as he's
Shelby Oaks, more like Shelby Ouch. Good one, Bert.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen it yet, homie. So we don't know.
Right, I forgot. Yeah. Let's go with our great track record of YouTuber movies, excluding Talk to Me. They've all been great, right? They've been Smosh the movie nominated for Best Picture. Smiley took home Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah. Hey, Dylan's New Nightmare was pretty good.
I'm talking about full motion pictures here.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
I know Dylan's New Nightmare was snubbed for Best Adapted Short Film, but you know what? My letters to Hollywood go unanswered.
No, man, but
want some shit. We got a bunch still in the pipeline.
The big thing that I will say about Stuckman's film is that, like, the concept...
I hate the way Luke holds back his opinions, says Movie Mike.
I know. Wait till I really tell you how I feel.
Yeah, I was about to say, let that shizzle rage, homie. But being a longtime viewer of Stuckman and Johns and some of the early YouTube guys who have been on there for, like, 15 years at this point almost... I do find what Luke pointed out to be kind of funny about the fact that he's like, I'm not going to review something unless I have positive things to say about it. What do you think about that?
Say that again? I was reading the chat.
Okay, so Stuckman's big thing, because Stuckman did this like state of his channel as he's editing his movie. He was like, I'm only going to review stuff if I have positive things to say about it. If I really detested something, I'm not going to review it. So that's what you were pointing out to, obviously, right?
Yeah, I just find that to be very lame and
he just doesn't want to jump on the hate brigade anymore, which is what I know.
I'm not
gets
saying you got to make those 4-hour hit pieces, but I'm saying if your job is to be honest. Your job, you became famous and got to the point where you have this opportunity to have Mike Flanagan produce your shit
based on film criticism. Yeah,
right, exactly. Yeah. So doing this I can only suckle off the movies that I like. I find it to be kind of lame and kind of inauthentic to me. And to
I have mixed feelings about
watch this movie.
Yeah, I mean It just really makes me think
he wants to have anything negative to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, Luke, what it makes me think is that he wants to keep one foot in the door. You know what I mean? And that he's like, okay, if this doesn't pan
don't
out,
bite the hand that feeds you.
I still
He's trying to get in the belly.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I still have the opportunity if I want to veer back to film criticism, but I would prefer to see if I can be a filmmaker and just toss all that shit away and whatever, but he doesn't know. I hate to be a
cynic, but if this movie fucking blows and he gets kicked back out of the fucking door, well, womp womp.
I think it's interesting because it's a found footage movie, right? Because it's a sister. Yeah. So it's essentially our lead character has a sister who goes to investigate a paranormal area that has had like a myriad of things that transpired there, and she goes missing, and then he goes to find what happened to her. He's trying to find his missing sister.
But Movie Mike makes a great point that I agree with, saying how even if you're negative on a movie, it doesn't you still have nice things to say. And that's it's not always necessarily just a full-on fuck you train.
Yeah. Which is very popular in the YouTube, and the fucking hate brigade, shit on everything. So. If you don't like something, just craptastic on it. So I don't know, but I am very curious about this movie. So
yeah, I am too. I mean, as a YouTuber trying to become a filmmaker myself, I'm very curious.
And I'm definitely being hyperbolic just because he got into that drama about it, and I just think that's kind of lame. But I would have been even more harsh on it a year ago before I saw Talk to Me, and Talk to Me was the fucking best horror movie I saw from last year, and that was made from two YouTubers.
It kicked ass, dude. Exactly. Yeah, I love Talk to Me. Yeah.
So I'm being facetious to a degree, but I do think that there is a chance it could be a banger, but only time will tell.
Yeah.
We actually have a story about the boys from Rocker Rocker.
The boys.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next up.
Yeah, so everybody has been wondering about this. And
yeah. So I will tackle this one if that's
yeah,
all
I was
right
about
with
to
you.
say, because I don't know what Jason Universe is compared with.
Yeah, so Crystal Lake was in the works to be a series from A24, a Friday the 13th series that at first people didn't know if they'd even be able to use Jason from Friday the 13th or not, if they could just use Jason's mom kind of thing, but apparently we found
Which would
out...
be so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I think we can all agree that's a really stupid decision.
100%.
Just don't...
Yeah, so we found out that that's not the case. They can use everything involved in the franchise, but recently they said that that is no longer happening because Brian Fuller, who was assigned to showrun, has exited the project for creative differences.
Worst luck in Hollywood.
And
Brian Fuller,
because he did amazing. He even put out a statement that said, I know my way around past horror properties that need to be revitalized, obviously referring to Hannibal, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he left the project because it sounds like A24 wanted more of a traditional slasher formula than what he was bringing to the table for this particular portion of the story. So,
which, like, I kind of agree with both sides on that one to a degree, because, listen, I don't think any of us are expecting a fucking Best Adapted Screenplay nomination for the next Friday the 13th picture. Like, I think we can just kind of make a new one at this point. It's been so long.
Yeah.
They like this idea of it being a prequel show and this and that. Like, just make it a 90 minutes. Throw a guy in a mask, hack up a few teens, and we can be like, and have it cost $8 million.
I think the closest we could get to doing that would have been this show. But
yeah, based on this, though, I didn't watch the Friday the 13th series from the 80s. Did you?
No, I don't remember it.
Yeah, because I know it was like it didn't entail Jason, unlike Freddy's Nightmares, which had Freddy show
Freddy
up
was
like
just
here and there.
The stories, basically.
Yeah, but
it was
but
more of
he
like
was
a Tales from the Crypt thing.
Exactly, it was an anthology horror sort of bit. So I was wondering if that's what they were going to go for with this. But when you have
Which
some
is
of
dumb. Don't do that.
Yeah, dude. But what really disconcerts me is when you have some of your key creative components that are, fucking piecing out and saying, okay, this isn't what I had envisioned when I was hired on for this job, and so I'm going to walk away. Just walk away. We'll spare your lives. Just walk away. And I don't know. I think this show is in jeopardy. Some of our friends, like Drum Dums and a few others, have been, talking about the fact that this show seems like it's kind of directionless, rudderless, or whatever at this particular point. So,
well, and they also really shit the bed in the fact that we just went through the biggest 80s nostalgia jerk circle for 15 years.
And it seems to be almost over because everybody's veering the 90s
it is
now,
over.
man.
Yep,
Yeah.
We're going we're going to be doing the Bartman again real soon here, kids.
Yeah, we're all going to 90s nostalgia now. New Metal
Freddie
is
and
back.
Jackson
Limp
just sat on the
Bizkit is
sideline.
like filling arenas now. I'm like, what sort of like alternate reality am I living in where just one of those days is going to be blasted for like 50,000 people? So
James Collins, I'm gonna have to stop you right there, son. No, he should not. Maybe like 15 years ago. But did you see the Munsters or like the last 4 movies he's made? Rob Zombie needs to stop.
The only Rob Zombie movie, Luke, that I really dig the shit out of is that Lords of Salem. I thought
you were going to say Devil's Rejects, because I just watched that not too long ago, and that movie fucking rips, dude.
Devil's Rejects is awesome.
That
Lords
one's
of
good,
Salem
too.
is still
But
terrible.
dude, Lords of Salem is so different from anything else that he did, in my estimation, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
worse.
the fact that it's such a slow burn. It's very much an art house film. It's an art house film, and it's not for everybody.
I watched Devil's Rejects.
I will
and
never
Free from
call
Hell.
a Rob Zombie movie an art house
That's
film.
his
Fuck
take on
that.
an art house film, though.
Says you.
What?
Like, no way.
Says me. Yeah, says
Fuck,
me.
there's no way Rob Zombie would even say that. Yeah, see, I was trying to go more art house with this one.
Well, he had a
I watched Devil's
budget.
Rejects and Three from Hell back to back, and
I don't like
I
Three
was
from Hell very much.
appalled at how bad it. Like you would not think they were from the same person.
Three from Hell is such trash, dude. I can't even fathom how bad that film was. You and I went and saw that at the Fathom event, if I remember correctly, and then Oh, so bad.
Yeah.
And like Rob,
wasn't that good.
and not, a little sneak peek. I'm working on the Rob Zombie Halloween video right now, but no, you didn't hear that from me. And like, he seems like a nice guy. He clearly loves like old movies and like he cares about it. So like, I have no ill will against him. But then I just watch his movies and I just wish I was dead. Like it's kind of crazy how that happens.
Gee whiz.
But anyway,
how do you really feel?
But anywho,
well, let's talk briefly about the Jason universe, which was announced by half of the people.
explain that to me.
I don't even know.
Basically,
like,
I
what
think
is
it's
this
everyone
game?
but
It's a
Sean
game?
Cunningham, like the two people that were warring over the Friday the 13th
he just
franchise.
can't let it go.
No.
You made the one that didn't get famous, okay? I'm sorry.
So
You didn't make Jason
Yeah.
famous, Sean.
So
Just
they
stop.
couldn't use the Friday the 13th moniker, hence the Jason universe. And basically, they said that there's a new, they call it what did they call it? An initiative, where
That's
no, they're activations. They say Jason will be activated across different platforms, and the first one that we saw was that Jason Voorhees is a battle character in the WB Multiverses video game, which is Super Smash Brothers, but with WB characters.
Okay, so that's the screenshots I've seen,
Yes.
obviously, then.
So
Okay.
that is where, and
That's
that is the
fun.
first
Yeah.
activation of Jason, because they cannot do anything that's Friday the 13th related.
Mm-hmm.
They could do a Jason X or a Jason versus Freddy, because they
didn't they-
don't have to do the Friday the 13th thing.
Didn't they just
However,
recently add Jason
for the
X to
most
another
part, they are
video game?
avoiding doing film just because of the legal trouble they could run into.
Yeah. Didn't they
This
just...
is so stupid. like, could you imagine having
everybody trying to get a piece of the pie, man,
It's
you
so.
know?
Could you imagine? I would love to sit in that fucking courtroom and hear Sean Cunningham try to like legally defend Friday the 13th, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Well,
Are we?
And I mean, the silly thing about it is that he would be trying to defend a concept that aesthetically with a hockey mask had nothing to do with him. It was 2 films later. Not just 1 film later, 2 films later. And so, I mean, the name of Jason Voorhees, I suppose, might, yield some credence or whatever, but, I mean,
Jason
shit,
Activation
dude.
just sounds incredible.
I love
Yeah.
Jason X, man. I am a big fan. It's one of my favorite
Fuck
kills
yeah,
of the franchise.
that
The
one rules.
smash, dude, the freeze and the smash on the counter. It's awesome.
That whole movie just kicks
Yeah.
ass.
No,
Dude,
you said what I said,
it's
the
so meta
Jason
and self-aware, which is why I love it so
Activation
much.
sounds
It's
lame,
very
yeah.
much of the era, which some people may
Hockey's
not
getting
like as
banned
much,
this
but
year.
yeah.
All right, well,
Hockey gets banned in 2024.
we got to keep going, or else
Yeah.
we're never going to get through all
Yeah,
these.
truly.
All right, so next up is
This
Blumhouse is developing a new My Bloody Valentine movie.
This is one that I don't have a
Who
lot to say because I
cares?
don't really. I saw the original.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
I don't
I
know.
saw
Did
the
you? It
original
cut
man,
out.
but I didn't see the
Because you're
remake.
screaming into the microphone.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, the remake had our buddy from Jensen Ackles from Supernatural in it, right? Was he not in the My Bloody Valentine remake? I think
He was. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And the
Because
other
I
guy
know
was
Sa-
in.
Because I know Sam was in the remake
House
of Friday the
Wax.
13th. It was when
Yep.
they were trying to make them both
Yep.
household names be on TV.
He was also in the House of Wax.
Yeah, he
remake.
was.
Jensen
in the House of
Ackles
Wax.
and like they never made it be on TV, which I think is kind of a travesty because they're both really talented actors and it's kind of a
But
bummer.
he's good as Soldier Boy.
Yeah, no, he was great in that, man. Cecil and I did a video where we were both crying about Dean dying. I mean, we were like,
Well, it
I
was
mean,
the
like
last
a little,
episode of the show.
yeah,
It
like a
wasn't
little girl
specifically
with a
about
skin
Dean
knee
dying.
and shit, dude. I cried just as hard as you, if not harder. And so, yeah, I love Supernatural. But as far as veering back to My Bloody Valentines, it was originally a Canadian film, like the original one from the 80s, if I recall correctly. Do you need to remake it a third time? Didn't we learn with
Oh my God! Have we learned nothing, fellas? It's just like Black Christmas and the
That's
fucking
exactly-
Town That Dreaded
Luke-
Sundown. They're just gonna keep doing it every 10 years. Who the fuck cares?
Luke 100%? That was
There's
why
no
I was like-
controlling it.
Yeah, Luke, I was
They're never
reaching,
gonna stop.
I was reaching, dude. I was just like, I know there was another Canadian slasher of that era, and of course you beat me to the punch.
You're
so,
welcome.
Yeah. De nada, homie. So yeah, man. I feel the same way. And when they tried to veer into something drastically different with that film, holy God, was it awful. I actually like Black Xmas, the one from the 2000s. I'm kind of a low-key fan of that, but yeah, because it's so brutal and stupid and everything. But yeah, the remake, it felt as borderline PG-13 as you could imagine, and so I'm hoping they don't do that. But Blumhouse is like, we're gonna suck up every IP. We have our OG IPs, our originals, and then we have everything else where, you know, we're gonna continue trying to remake stuff. They're still trying to acquire Nightmare on Elm Street. They're still trying to acquire Friday the 13th. They're like, you know, Jason is vigilant, so props to him in that regard, I suppose. But
yeah, I mean, I like the when I eventually saw My Bloody Valentine, I really enjoyed it. I had never seen it before a few years ago, and then apparently there's an even gorier version of it. I'm not sure which I saw at the time, but I enjoyed it well enough to want to get it, so I might as well just grab this version instead. So, yeah, no, I'm excited for. I always am okay with a new version of an old movie, just in case it's better or just in case it's good. I refuse to get mad that they're redoing an idea just because that's all Hollywood does.
The only one I like, because I completely agree. I'm just so numb to it. Like, it's like, we're doing Goosebumps again. Okay, we're doing The Matrix again. Alrighty. Yeah. The only one where when the day comes when they do Back to the Future 4 or a remake, that's the day I'm gonna fucking explode and become one with the universe again, because I just can't. Like, oh, we're gonna do The Shining again. Yeah. All right, well, like, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I hear you.
We'll get to a day where Shaun of the Dead and fucking we're doing the Avengers again. Like, it's all just gonna come back around.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, it seems that way with most things. But all right. Well, from there, let's just move along since we have so much shit to talk about.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like we've been going for almost an hour, and we're just barely to that fifth stop.
Well, we were about 15 minutes late, so we've been going for about 40 minutes, but still, that's a long time for 4 stories out of 16. So, next up is... This one doesn't have to take very long.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg has apparently decided to make a new event movie that is going to be released in 2026. We don't know anything more than that, so we don't know if it's horror slanting or not, but there is speculation that it might be a new event alien invasion movie, right? Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Which we know he does well.
That's true. I loved War of the Worlds. Some people don't like it, but I love that movie.
I did not like War of the Worlds.
Well, you can get the fuck out.
I know. I was one of those people. But
why? What did you not like about it?
Tom Cruise, I guess. Yeah.
He's not very everyman-y, is he?
Not anymore, for sure. But I don't know. I had issues with that movie. That was where, like, Spielberg was veering into an era where I was just, like, not... I feel like he was kind of losing touch a little bit.
Says E2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, dude, I will always remember being a very, very little kid in the 80s, and my dad watching on VHS Richard Dreyfuss making the mashed potato little hill and everything, and I love Close Encounters, and E.T. to a lesser degree. I didn't connect with E.T. like a lot of people did, because maybe I was too young when it first came out or whatever. He's drinking the Coors, if I remember correctly. E.T. starts drinking the Coors and the product placement and all that shit. Yeah. It was alright, but I'm very happy that guy has grown up to be a Flanagan and, like, go-to in
Henry
everything.
Thomas.
He's
got some respect on his name.
Damn. Well, because I couldn't remember his name, Luke, and so that's why I was like, I remember this kid, and he grew up to actually be somebody who, you know...
That's what I'm saying. Like, hearing earlier in the show that Mike Flanagan's making a new Exorcist movie, I'm just thinking, great, Henry Thomas has another job. We're all set.
Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah, Henry Thomas is excellent in that movie. Dude, if you have not watched, anybody who was checking this out, the audition tape, because it's floating around on YouTube, of Henry Thomas as a kid, and you did not think that he was going to be a star, and that's what makes it even much more tragic, in the fact that he had to fight for roles as he was no longer a kid actor. And
hey, at least he wasn't the other brother in E.T.
Yeah, true. Or even the McCulkins, man. I mean, shit, dude. I mean, well, shit, dude. I mean, Rory and Kieran have gone on to be very respectable between American Horror Story, Succession, all this different stuff, and then Then you have our little Home Alone kiddo. But
Poor Macaulay, first through the door, last to success.
yeah. But no, I'm anytime Spielberg is directing something, dude. I didn't love West Side Story, but it was very much him trying to do stuff that he has an affinity for, which is fine. Oh, hello.
Yep, we have a sub for me, guys. I gotta run downstairs and get a little energy going because I am starting to fade a little bit from my long day of stuff.
No.
But here we go. So that is that
there-
story, and
Is there
we've
something
got
alcoholic
Morgs.
that could be brought
Yeah,
up
it could
to
be a
me,
little
possibly?
bit of the alcohol. But here you go. So right here, guys, once you finish with story 6, you just move to story 7, and then story 8, and then it's as simple as that.
Oh my God,
You just
Cecil
delete the
has to
last
go.
one.
Cecil has to go to bed. It's too late.
I'm not gonna
for
go to
him.
bed. I'm just gonna go grab a little bite. I might lay down.
5:30, everyone.
Oh, no.
It's 6 o'clock. He has to go to
yeah,
bed.
I can when
Yeah,
I'm all
alright.
done. Just let me get out the way. Move, bitch. Get out. Yeah, well, guess what? It happens. It happens.
So
All right. So here we are, face to face. A
Hi.
couple of silver spoons.
I know, right?
All right. So the attractiveness meter has been extensively, amplified. So we have Morgan joining us right here.
Extensively
Hey, guys.
amplified is
Yeah.
crazy.
Man.
Ah.
I'm just kidding.
No,
You're
she's-
never gonna pick up chicks with that kind of game, son.
I don't need to, man. I am fine on the chick radar. So yeah. But yeah, man. So Morgan, or I mean, we're
Yeah.
not going to use your actual
Morgs,
name.
yeah,
We're-
that's me.
yeah, exactly.
That
Because
is my
Fuego
name.
is not my fucking name. So
But Morgs is
but-
my name,
But
so-
it is one that
It's
has been
not.
dubbed upon me in various instances of working in the back of kitchens here in the great state of Arizona. But so
It's
as we,
code for strip clubs.
yeah,
Maybe.
I guess I could
We
kinda
don't
see that.
we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah. No, we don't. No. All right. So
what's up
as
next?
as we continue tossing through the myriad
Cecil
of
has to go
different
to bed.
stories.
Wait, I'm gonna put that in chat so everyone
Yeah, I
knows.
was about to say you were still giving the slight, which is funny. Okay, so James Wan is funding a reboot of the classic TV show The Munsters, and so this is one of the interesting things because of the fact that we just had a accordingly campy reboot of The Munsters that was done by Rob Zombie. I didn't hate it. Of course, his wife was in it. Sherry is a babe. I feel like she was a little bit more of a babe when I saw her on the Sexy Swingin' Sessions CD in '95, but
mean,
fair.
fair.
I appreciate the fact that those two are still together. It's friggin' awesome. It makes me believe in love, and
Fuego, I hate to interrupt you, but I just got a breaking text message from Cecil and it had a photo attachment of him in bed, literally sleeping.
He is
he
literally
is,
in bed right
he
now.
is right beside us. Yes, that is spoilers.
Going downstairs.
Eventually,
So-
right?
We love the guy.
I'm
He
watching
is the
from the sideline.
he is the founder of the feast, as I always like to call him. I wouldn't be here if not for Cecil, and
Much like Christ.
yeah,
Much
exactly.
like- wow.
Go with Christ,
no,
bro.
No,
Go with
don't,
Christ.
Don't go that far. Anywho.
But okay, so Miranda, excuse me, Morgan.
Oh.
I have to ask.
Oh,
I know
punch my dick.
you can suck my face. Yeah. So Morgan. Morgan. Do you really think, since campiness is kind of a touchstone of the Munsters, excuse me? I mean, do you really think going more serious actually? I mean, does it defeat the purpose? What do you
Kind
think?
of.
That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Yes.
I mean,
Elaborate
no,
for the
no,
beautiful
no, it
people.
does. It's meant to be horror for a more.
It came out at the same time as the Addams Family, and so that was where it was like, okay, horror can be kind of softened and less threatening, and
Right. It's more
Yeah.
like accessible
Yeah,
to
totally.
people who are not
Yeah.
into the deeper type of stuff. It's supposed to just be like, I don't know. It's sort of, maybe it's, I'm not trying to say it's like the thing that ushered it in, but it sort of is like the doorway into horror comedy. It's
yeah,
like,
for some
like that
people,
whole
yeah,
entire,
like dip your toe into the pool
Exactly.
of blood,
So it's
so
like,
to speak. Yeah.
oh look, it's cute, it's campy, it's silly, it's fun, it's
Yeah.
it's family friendly, but it's also horror, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to say I know.
Well, and when I hear horror reboot of classic TV show, it's like that same thing with the Munster, not the Munsters, the Banana Splits movie that they did, where it's like,
geez, where
okay,
it was R-rated, like slasher crazy,
right? So it's one of those cases where it's like, who is this for? It's for like a very niche amount of people who remember that old show and think it would be like a neat gimmick.
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
Yeah, but there's also like, I do think. Oh, this is reaching. Sorry. This is reaching, but I do feel like there's like a market for the newer Gen Z.
Maybe, but
category.
I mean,
Because
how much do these young kids know about the Munsters?
They
man?
don't.
I mean, they don't know shit about the Munsters, and so that's what it really boils down to.
But they're into aesthetics.
Yeah,
and they're into,
that's why you have
things
James
like that.
Wan
And so
doing it, because James Wan is old enough to remember seeing reruns and syndication of the Munsters, and he's like, I'm going to make it more extreme or whatever.
And
but
also just wanting to.
It seems like kind of a peculiar
I want
sort
to bring
of
it to the
thing
new
to pursue.
generation. I want to say, hey, look, this is what we watched here, and you guys don't do this anymore. So I want to bring it to this new audience. But there's also like a cute little reminiscence thing with some of the younger generations where they're like very into that as an aesthetic, like I said. And so, I mean, do I think it's right? No.
Yeah.
But do I understand how it happened?
Yeah.
Also.
All right, so it's
Yes.
it's piqued the curiosity, even if you're kind of haphazard, if it makes sense to.
No,
actually
I think it's a terrible mistake.
Okay, so let's clarify.
I just
Morgan
think
thinks
I
it's a
understand.
dumbass thing to do.
I do.
And
I understand why it's happening, but I think it's a mistake.
all right. Okay, so are we all gonna like Siskel and Ebert that shit? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Morgan is obviously thumbs down. Luke,
Terrible
you say
idea.
thumbs down. Yeah. Yeah,
James.
I'm kind of in the middle,
James,
you know.
Aquaman 2 flopped. Don't go into director jail over the Munsters.
Yeah. Although he's just producing it, right? He's using his atomic, whatever the hell it is, atomic monster or whatever his production company to put this together. So I don't know. But let us jump to the next story. Madam Morgan.
I was like, I can't see the next.
I know he was saying we.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry.
All in sequential order.
I saw what he was doing, but I wasn't looking.
Am I just hitting the arrow down or something? No.
No, the little. You see how there's.
I thought he said down here.
Oh, okay.
But
My animation isn't going anymore. This whole show is
28 years
I
later.
know. Yep. It's a travesty. La travesty.
Turn on
Is it 28 years later?
And you turn off
No.
the eyeball for the one you turn on. Really? You would turn off.
So while we wait,
Yes, I was about to say,
give you guys the
elaborate
smooth
as best you
stylings
can.
of Smooth jazz.
So scroll up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so.
I was gonna say.
Down.
So in the meantime, I saw Furiosa last night, and it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as good as Furiosa.
Okay, so this one would be the next one.
Nice.
She deserved, because Furiosa's the shit, but it was still good.
Nope, right above it.
Glad you liked it.
That's 6 again. Nope. Leave the bass on.
Don't.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry, man. I haven't done this before, so.
So turn off 6 and turn on 7. 7's on.
How
then turn on
many
6.
How many elderly gentlemen does it take
There you go. Now you're on 7.
to click
Yeah,
to
I
make
was
the
about-
next part of the story highlighted?
I was about to
That's
say,
what we're
Luke, I am
trying to-
blonde, unfortunately, man. Even if it's like dirty and destroyed at this particular point, I was a towhead when I was a kid. So yes, I am. I am very much of the lesser intellectual. So, dude, mentioning Furiosa, I've seen a lot of people who prefer the coked out craziness of Fury Road. I don't know if I prefer one or the other
Fury Road's
necessarily.
like a perfect movie, and Furiosa could have been trimmed up a little bit, a little too long.
I like the world building in Furiosa, though, man. I felt like the fact that there was so much you were left to infer with Fury Road and just kind of like watch and figure out yourself. I kind of like the spelling it out with, you know, Gastown and, you know, all that different stuff. I really like the girl who was also in the Spider movie from Australia, who was the young version of Furiosa for like the first 40 minutes. I thought she was kick-ass. I thought she was really good. And despite the fact that his nose is a glaring obviousness, I liked Hemsworth playing a villain, and I liked
Definitely the highlight of the picture.
I liked the diatribe between the two of them at the very end. I thought that discourse was really good, man. So,
Very fun.
yeah, I was entertained.
Took
I
out like
didn't-
45 minutes. Anyway.
Well, they could have. Yeah, to a degree. But I mean, you're not gonna live up to Fury Road because it was so relentlessly paced and so just go go go. And even in the breather moments with Nicholas Hoult, and, getting
Fury Road is
cozy-
a weak first act. Tyler, I'm gonna need you to fucking elaborate on that, son. What are you talking about?
If you don't want any
literally hits the
dialogue and
gas
just
and it
like
never
breathless
stops.
craziness, like. Well, so how about we ask the lovely lady beside us? Do you remember Fury Road? It's like 9 fucking years ago now. Did you see the Mad Max Fury Road film? Okay, so she can't comment on it. So whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're gonna quote WWE
no
wrestlers and stuff. Anyway,
I always tell everyone, did someone die
yeah.
horribly graphically?
in
No? All right, well.
Furiosa, in Furiosa, yes.
Yeah, but
Fury Road.
that's
Fuck
an
yeah,
action
they do.
movie, is
Yeah.
it not? Action.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't even realize Homie was getting eaten by dogs until that's kind of a minor spoiler, but since nobody knows the context, I'm not going to elaborate beyond that.
Furiosa gets eaten by dogs. Thanks for spoiling it.
James.
Yeah,
That
exactly,
movie sucked.
exactly. No, I dug Furiosa, man. I was a fan of it, and the fact that George Miller also made Babe Pig in the City and Happy Feet, I'm just like, what the hell?
He's versatile.
Indeed, yeah, very much so. So as far as versatility goes, I'm a big fan.
See that segue?
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that
yeah.
segue?
I'm trying, Luke. I'm trying, man. But yeah, so the Monsterverse. I don't know how everybody felt about the second Godzilla vs. Kong film, but
It fucking ruled, baby.
dude, I mean, we're talking suplexes, like WWE craziness, as far as giants and
Kong
lizards.
standing next to the
apes and
pyramid, going
shit.
like, "Yo, Godzilla, chill out. We got bigger business," and she still just fucking mollywops him. It's oh my
Yeah.
god.
It was an entertaining movie, man. That's the best way I could describe it. It was entertaining, despite the fact that you had the thought-provoking -1, and then you
Give
had
King
like
Kong a gun.
the ball buster, the like just doing everything you want sort of bit with Godzilla Godzilla X Kong. It still has not overtaken Skull Island for the biggest of these new monster films, if I'm not mistaken, but I was entertained, and I've been a big Adam Wingard fan for a while. I even am an apologist for his Blair Witch movie. Not a lot of people are. Did you see his Blair Witch movie?
Sorry, I'm gonna have fun in
Yeah.
that party of one.
Yeah, I suppose I am. But so Adam Wingard is departing the franchise, and they're going to bring in somebody else. We don't have anybody preferred as of yet. Although Cecil, before we started filming, was telling
Cecil
me that
is directing the third Godzilla vs. King Kong. You heard it here first.
Cecil thinks, and I kind of subscribe to his sentiment a little bit, man, that like do that crossover, dude. Do the Pacific Rim and Godzilla Kong crossover, and how much fun that shit would be.
That would be awesome.
I'm into that if they can somehow. I mean, unfortunately, Guillermo would want like $300 million to make that movie, probably, and it would still probably just barely like do a chink at the box office. But, yeah, that's a. She is fawning herself. Briefly.
All I heard was Rim and
Yeah.
Godzilla, and I was like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
done.
Whoa.
But yeah, so we have a second season of Monarch that is coming, everybody, and then on top of that, we also have the 6th film in the Monsterverse. Although Wingard is not returning, and he was a guy that came up very similar to Doherty, horror background, made his way to bigger budget shit, which I have. I mean, Mike Doherty, not to be confused with Mike Flanagan, but Mike Doherty, Trick or Treat. I mean, awesome director, did some big budget stuff, didn't stick around, unfortunately, but yeah, it is what it is. So now we see if we can replicate the stupidity without embarrassing ourselves too much.
All good.
So I think we're doing that, and we're doing that, right? Okay, yes. Oh wait, nope. Derp Fueguissimo. Dude, when your
No,
pilot.
I think you did it.
Okay, did I?
I think so. Look.
Okay, because I was gonna say when the
Nope.
pilot leaves
Too far.
and the other guy is like, "Hey, you're gonna continue flying that plane, okay, right?"
Deep.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Yes, exactly. All right. It's not rocket science. It's brain surgery, Smithers. Anyway. Yeah. So 28.
So Oscar winner Cillian Murphy
Lay it on us, Luke. Yeah.
is coming back to spooky zombie movies, baby, and that's what we like to hear.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be more so like a cameo, small role, though. What do you think?
Oh yeah, he'll be in one scene and die.
Yeah. Is it gonna be something beefy? Probably not. No.
Yeah, no. He just played the best actor winner of last year. He's gonna be in 2 scenes and die.
Yeah, he won a goddamn Oscar, man. I was surprised he didn't cameo in 28 Weeks Later, which I actually quite like. So I have to ask you and Morgan. I'll ask like ladies first, obviously. So do you like this franchise?
I hated the very first movie
Really?
and didn't go any further.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, that actually makes things really easy. Luke, what do you think about this franchise, man? The rage zombie vibe that a lot of other people kind of took on over the years after this.
Yeah, I like them. I like the do it yourself kind of do what you can vibe with the first one too, where especially once you know how they did it, like the scenes where they're all alone in the middle of the street, just knowing they had to just get up real early and do it that way.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
both
did
what
they
it did
close
for
off the
zombies,
streets? Yeah,
because don't people still argue that they're not really zombies? They're like, oh, that's stupid shit too.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
definitely,
the rage virus, sort of whatever. Yeah,
definitely, along with like Dawn of the Dead and stuff, the remake is when they kind of, and Return of the Living Dead too, of course. But that's definitely what changed it from like zombies have to be these slow moving, bumbling creatures to you better fucking have your running shoes ready.
Yeah. I still remember talking to George Romero when I interviewed him a number of years ago at Fright Fest in Kentucky, and he was like, I hate running zombies. And I was just like, well, why wouldn't they run, man?
And you patted him on the back and said, okay, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
It was very much that sort of sentiment, but I was trying to, and I'm just trying to be nice,
I mean, okay, wait, just to throw.
Oh, okay, she
now
does
that-
have she
now
does
that you
have
guys-
something
no,
to say.
I mean,
All right.
I don't like it. End of.
You're
but
a proverbial pivot, man. Let your shit fucking fly. Give your.
I think it's fine
your
that the
impressions.
zombies run. I think that my issues with the movie were like nitpicky things, I guess. But like
28 Days Later, we're referring to specifically, right?
right, like the original movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I still like those
So,
exterior shots
here's-
that Luke was mentioning of him just walking around with like nothing in those parts of
Sure.
London and just
There are some scenes that are
dilapidated,
really good.
decimated, like completely unoccupied. I thought that
Yes.
stuff was really cathartic. I like dystopian sort of storytelling.
Sure.
I like the apocalyptic sort of vibe.
But I
dig
think they
that
went
shit.
a little too far. There were some
With
camera
such a
angles that
minor
was
budget, though?
no. There was some camera
Really?
angles that was just like, really.
Yeah.
Do you really need to be behind the stairs while someone's walking down them? Because that's just
Hmm.
so artistic.
I was a fan of 28 Weeks Later, actually.
And then my
Where they got a little
very,
more
very
violent
favorite
with it,
scene
little
is
bit
when they're
more
in
budget.
the silo
Yeah.
and they're running up the stairs. No one's talking.
Yeah, true.
And the chick in
Sure.
the front turns around and goes, "Shh! Be quiet!" I'm like, bitch, your voice just, like, fucking echoed. But,
Yeah.
sure.
Truth be told.
Let's just all be quiet. No.
People in horror movies making bad decisions. This is a first.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's never transpired previously at all.
It was
Why in
just
the hell would you even float that idea?
So blatant and too much for me. It was
Yeah.
too much.
So peeking very briefly at the chat, because even when Cecil was still chillaxing, we didn't actually do that. Rob, I got to give you a shout out, man. I'm so very happy to see you on here. So Rubber Soul, longtime supporter of the horror show, a friend of the channel and everything. He's done some artwork for all of us. Cillian Murphy, man. I was a fan of him when he was doing stuff like the Wes Craven flick, where he was on the airplane. What was it, Red Eye, if I remember correctly, Luke? Did you see that film?
That was a good one.
I have not.
Yeah, it's a...
Is he playing a weird little freak in it like he always does?
Kind of, yeah. It's a...
Let's go. Then I definitely got to check it out.
Dude, it's great. It's a very minimalistic thriller where, like, let's say that you're seated on a plane and then somebody beside you is out of their goddamn mind. And
that's almost every time.
I know, right? And so it's him and Rachel McAdams,
McAdams,
if I want to
yes.
say. Yeah, he was kind
my,
of big thing.
My love.
Big thing at that particular time. Really good movie. Solid thriller, PG-13, but doing a lot with the rating. Very solid, great performance
Very
from him.
subtle.
So, yeah, very
It
much
was-
Hitchcock kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know, so
good.
yeah, big fan of that film.
It's like a
Killian
quiet
getting
horror.
his due at
Yeah.
this point. Even if I didn't love Oppenheimer, I'd love.
And if
him
anyone
in Oppenheimer.
wants to watch it, it is currently streaming on Paramount Plus, and that means I'm going to watch it tonight.
Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, right. So he is supposedly going to be making a small appearance in this. I'm more excited in the fact that Danny Boyle is going to be directing some of these, and the fact that he is working so intrinsically with everybody else who had a prior bit in the franchise. Okay, so we're going to go
Every time you go to change the thing, I know you're doing it because you start to get really loud because you're right in front of the mic.
I know. Hello, sir. Hello, Stan. Yeah.
He's like,
It's great because then for a few seconds it feels like Fuego's inside my brain.
Yeah. All right, back into action. Here we go.
So I don't know what poopy playtime is. You're gonna have to explain this to me.
Well, unfortunately, this is a Cecil edition, so I have no clue what the hell poopy playtime
So
is.
then-
"It's not
so then
Poopy,
we'll
it's
put it- we're gonna-
Poppy. Poppy's playtime.
All right,
Oh,
poopy
okay.
playtime.
It's
We're gonna put
Huggy
a.
Poppy playtime.
We're
As I look a
So-
little bit closer, I can see that there is no additional O there. I know that character is right up there.
Oh, that's it,
That
right
thing.
there.
Yeah.
Huggy
That thing
Wuggy.
spooky looking.
I don't know what this character is from as far as an IP goes. I think Cecil was. He's not even back here, so I can't even consult with him.
Okay,
Do
I
you
only
know?
know
It's like
so
a children's
much,
thing.
but
Is it
I'm-
like kind of a
no,
Five
it's
Nights at
not a
Freddy's?
children's thing.
It's like
Is
we're
it
trying
like
to
a Five
decipher
Nights at Freddy's sort of
hieroglyphics.
thing? Because that's the vibe that I got.
I
but-
don't know. I don't know it deeply, but I can give you a little
He
bit.
looks kind of friendly though, because you
Deeply.
see how he's smiling.
Well, he's supposed to. So, Poppy's Playtime it's a game, like the way Five Nights at Freddy's
Mm-hmm.
was. I know it's not for kids, but kids played it.
Poppy
Well, I
is
was
like
about
a
to say
3D
Five Nights
FNAF.
at Freddy's was totally played
Okay.
by kids, right?
But-
So
Okay,
It
Alan
was,
says
it
it's like a
wasn't meant for
3D.
kids, but
yeah.
yeah,
3D
it's
Five
the
Nights at
same-
Freddy's. Cool.
It's the same thing. So Poppy's Playtime is a toy store, I want to say. Poppy's a little girl, and then you go into the toy store.
I could definitely tell from the
Right. Well,
picture we have
he's-
up there. So
he's
it's like the
super
spirit of a
friendly.
little girl that
He's
goes
a
into
he's a
it.
big stuffed animal. And he's really friendly,
Yeah.
but then he's also
He
like,
definitely looks very friendly. He's going to
supposed
be your
no,
buddy.
No,
Yeah.
not with the teeth. Stop.
Oppenheimer.
He's supposed to be super friendly, but then he's also sort of like a protector of the store, and so
Okay.
like you're in there. I think you're in there unauthorized.
So is it like a point and click kind of game as opposed to like a full on?
It's very Five Nights at Freddy's. It's the same
Okay. Yeah,
thing.
I
Oh,
haven't
and
played
since
that.
Five Nights
I
at
haven't
Freddy's
played
was
that
a
either.
huge hit.
So,
Yeah, it's
We're
very
gonna get a bunch
computer-
more-
very computer, very all that. Like
We're gonna get a
I
bunch
have
more
hands.
animatronics doing spooky stuff.
they're
Yeah.
not animatronics, though. They're stuffed animals. So
Oh,
you've got
okay. Well
Huggy
then,
Wuggy, who's-
maybe a
he's-
Chucky kind of.
He's super friendly. He has a super great smile, and then when you like trigger him to be, then he turns evil like that and has the
I
teeth,
see.
and he's like,
Oh, okay, so there's
and
like
he-
a
he, like,
metamorphosis
will
of the
attack
teeth
you,
as opposed
yeah.
to the jagged
and then
craziness.
you have to try to get away. And then there's also I want to say that what's the other character? She's pink. It's Kissy Wissy or some.
No,
some shit.
I gotta give a shout out to Burt Vedder. He's like, it'll probably be a Blumhouse production. Yeah, I would imagine that as well. And they just love cranking out those PG-13 stuff like Imaginary, Night Swim. I actually kind of liked Night Swim. Imaginary was awful, but
Can
anyway.
we possibly have a game just be a game? Is
No.
that all right?
At this point, in
Nope.
in
Sorry.
the fact that anytime an IP, you have to have comic books, novels, film, TV adaptation, video game, everything, it's all connected together because of the fact that, it all has to...
Because people will look
It's
at
like
it and go,
shoot
"That's
for-
a name I've recognized."
Yeah, and so it's like shoot for wherever you think you can kind of make some money. It's a little
So
bit of
we're
a
just
depressing
shooting
assessment,
for
I
fish
suppose.
in a barrel, as opposed to actually making anything with content. Oh, did I say
Yeah.
that?
But Morgan is
Sorry.
spilling the tea, and I would not expect anything less with the astute aspect of her intellect and criticism of the horror genre. So, okay, so yeah, so Poppy Playtime, they're making it into a movie. I know very little about this. That's why I really wish Cecil was around for this one. But,
But he had to take a nap, guys. Sorry.
well, I mean, he's got a lot going on.
It happens.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, cast announced for Bring Her Back. A24's new movie by the directors of Talk to Me. So, all right, so this is not something that we can really speak to.
The Filippo brothers.
Yeah, yep, who were YouTube sensations. This is not much that we can really speak to. I did see, Luke, the bit from the main actress from Talk to Me, and she was like, I'm sad because I know that them doing this movie and the Street Fighter reboot, despite the fact that they announced Talk to Me 2, who knows when the hell that's going to come out.
Let me just say this.
Yeah, bring it
I'm
up, dude.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Letting it, like,
we don't need
simmer
another
and-
one. Let them go do other movies. Let them do another horror movie. I just found out from you saying that they're doing the Street Fighter movie.
Fighter.
Sure.
Yeah.
That honestly, you just said that and I got actually excited for that cuz those guys know how to do fucking stunts.
Yeah.
If you guys
I still like the one with Raul Julia, dude. I have a soft spot for that. I'm going to kick
just put it in the
Bison's ass, you know? I still have a
everyone go
soft
check
spot
that shit
for
out.
that stupidity. You know, it's like on the level with the stupidity of the Mortal Kombat movie from the 90s, man. You know, it's fun, but damn is it dumb. But whatever. Anyway.
They'll be a perfect fit.
It's chill.
Yeah. But as far as this movie goes, I mean, they really... So, okay, Luke, did you, like, Talk to Me? I mean, were you a fan of that?
Yeah.
Damn right,
Like
dude.
I said earlier.
You said
favorite
earlier
movie
it was your favorite of the
favorite-
year.
Yeah.
I think it was my number 1 or number 2 as well, and upon a rewatch, it even...
It wasn't like my favorite of the year, but definitely my favorite horror movie of the year.
Favorite horror for sure. Upon a rewatch, dude, it like elevated itself so significantly to me with like realizing some of those little touchstones in the background and then the manipulation of what is supposedly her mother and like all that stuff worked even better after I kind of knew what the score was, so to speak.
And for me, the biggest shock is how it's such a cookie cutter horror story with the
Very
haunted
much.
object and the teens getting attached to it, and they got to go, find out the clues, and yet it manages to not only subvert all that shit, but it manages to be such a fucking scary movie on top of it with such great performances, and the camera work is just so good.
Yeah.
There's just so many good shots. It's like you said, it really benefits from a rewatch and many more after that.
Yeah, and even more so, man. I mean, the fact that those guys did so many weird camera angles on some of their YouTube videos and stuff, that really lended to how they approached, just, man, where the young kid is just smashing his face and all that stuff. Like, that stuff sits with me, man. I have a sneaking suspicion that the person seated beside me is not a big fan of Talk to Me.
That's not true.
Oh, okay. What were your thoughts on it?
A lot of assumptions tonight, Fuego.
I
I'm
know,
just
I
saying.
make my presumptions. It's based on body language, is more so than anything.
No. I'm reading the screen and I'm thinking about things. I like to Talk to Me a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But you were talking about favorite movie of the year and things like that, and so I was thinking about another movie that's in. It's not the same, but to a degree, it's in the same vein, and people may not know about it as much, but it's called The Reading, and it was really good. It was really, really good. I would say they're at least on the same level, if not, the Reading's probably maybe better. Don't crucify me. But I feel like a lot of people probably haven't heard about that film.
I heard about it and I didn't watch it. It was one of those lower levels that I didn't.
I don't read,
check
so
out.
I definitely skipped it.
No. The Reading was released, as far as I know, it was only released on BET. So I had to get
Like the TV channel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so they have a streaming service now. So they did the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they recently.
Everyone has a streaming service.
I know, it's nuts, man. So they actually did a remake of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter is Dead recently. Yeah.
Ooh, that's probably good.
Which I have yet to watch, but I mean.
I heard that they were making that. I didn't know that it premiered there.
Yeah, well, it was in theaters, and it's supposed to be veering over to the streaming service eventually, but it was a BET production. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have to get a subscription. So I got a trial just to watch that movie.
I
was-
did the trial just to watch the Don't Tell
It
Mom,
was
and then I realized
so
it wasn't available until
incredibly
X amount
worth
of
watching
days.
The Reading. The Reading.
The
was so-
Reading.
I was like, please
Don't leave me
hit
hanging.
some
Don't
other
leave me hanging.
streaming service. It's so good.
I mean, I'm trying to do like a silly fist pound
sorry.
sort of thing.
I was like,
I always
ah.
forget, and you're like, "What are you doing, Fuego, you idiot?"
What is this?
Anyway,
Yeah, less
Okay,
than 2,000 people have rated The Reading on IMDb. So
I'm
yeah,
not
kids,
surprised.
it's
very
kinda-
It's very
underground
under the
film.
radar,
yeah,
but
kind of
it's-
buried in that regard. That sucks. Okay.
So definitely putting that on the watch list, though.
Yeah,
If
same
we
for
get
me,
in-
man.
If we get in a morgue exclusive recommendation here.
Yeah. Yeah, Morgan is the OG even before me, man. So her
And she said better than Talk to Me. I'm putting that full quote on the DVD.
yeah, I'm actually
putting
going to
her
hold
name
you to
under
that
it,
too.
so-
Talk about the burden of expectation,
liked
everybody.
both of them.
You know,
but
I mean, she has
definitely-
fantastic taste, as we all know. But
I didn't see the twist coming. All right, and I have a tendency to see things coming.
is it like a
way
second,
before.
third act kind of twist? Like
No,
sort of,
it's just. It's I don't know. They set you up to think that the movie's going a certain way, and then you're just.
I
Like,
always
wait,
love
what?
those, man. Subvert that expectation where you think
Yeah,
you
because
kind of know what's going on.
I'm
And,
definitely the kind of person that usually sees like.
yeah.
I'm very good
Yeah.
at puzzling out things.
I've
and so,
never discounted your perceptive intelligence in that
So
regard.
in order for me to be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It was just like left field for me. It was
Okay.
awesome.
Well, talk about left field. If we're gonna do another one of those transitions,
We're
that Lucas,
doing it again,
that Lucas
baby.
mocked me about.
The corpse ain't even called on the last season of that shit. We're doing it again.
But I'm a big Christian Slater fan, man. I still remember in the early 90s where they were talking about, okay, we're going to do like an early Batman, and we're going to have Johnny Depp as the Michael Keaton Batman, and we're going to have Christian Slater as the fucking Jack Nicholson Joker. And they were talking about adapting Killing Joke like that. I thought it was amazing. I'm a big fan of Christian Slater, man. I mean, whether it's True Romance, I mean, various other things he's done. But I never really watched Dexter. And so for that reason, I can't really claim
Dexter
to...
rips. At least the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
I'd say the
and-
first four
and-
are
and-
very, very good.
Yeah, and I know Michael is really solid in that role. A lot of people, when they did the revival, were not so big into it. Do you like the Dexter show, Morgan?
Bro, okay.
Bro. Okay, bro.
She's
Okay.
locking in. Hold on.
I know his sister was in the Exorcism movie, if I remember. And
Oh,
she's
yeah,
a,
she
She's
was
in quarantine.
woo, she's a babe. Anyway.
She's
yeah.
in quarantine. And white chicks. But anyway.
When she did that Exorcism
White
movie,
chicks.
that was all. That was all her. That wasn't SFX.
All
that
the
was
so it was not
literally-
contortionist
that
like
was-
stand-in
that was
sort of shit.
Her doing. Yeah,
Wow.
she's amazing.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, because she's a very thin woman.
Yeah, she is.
That
has
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to do
very,
with
very thin and
flexibility.
limber.
Limber. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry.
Anywho.
Sorry,
Right.
America.
Okay, all right, Madam Morgan, the floor is yours.
I was just gonna say that I definitely cried for the last episode like a loser.
Of Dexter?
Really?
I was so
Okay,
sad it was over.
so the series
who- wait,
proper,
you're saying at who gets-
not the continuation, though, right?
No,
are
haven't-
you saying at who gets thrown in the water to keep it vague?
No,
I haven't
just-
watched it, guys.
I mean,
So
I guess. No,
I just
he's
know
saying
John
to keep it
Lithgow
vague.
was on there. Wasn't Jimmy
picked up
Smith
what
That's
you're
me
putting
keeping
down.
it. that-
wasn't
that's
Jimmy
me keeping
Smith's
it
on
vague.
there too?
I
Jimmy
picked up what
Smith's
you're
was on there
putting
too
down
as
there.
like
I
a
do.
protege or something.
But no, yeah, it was. I think it was mostly
at
just
that.
because it was over, and it was.
Yeah,
like,
because
it was very
you get
final.
invested.
Yeah, and I was just like,
And then they're like,
"Why
we're doing
is
it again.
It's over forever. No, I haven't seen any of the new. I would.
The revival.
Well, let me.
series,
Okay, well
would,
then
but I
I'll
haven't.
I'll leave it. I'll leave you with this, Fuego.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
notorious
rock
for
it, Luke.
having. It's notorious for having one of, if not the worst, TV show endings ever. And so then they brought it back for a new season.
even
and
worse
then-
than Game of
and
Thrones?
right. It might be worse than the Game of Thrones ending, honestly.
Oh no!
Or the Seinfeld ending, as much as the funny
No,
thing
the
about
Seinfeld
this.
ending kicks ass.
The
People,
funny-
people
and
just
they-
weren't ready for that.
Oh, and dude, did you see what they did on Curb Your Enthusiasm, where they did the send up to that ending? And it's so, oh man.
But the reboot, the New Blood season of Dexter might be an even worse ending than before. So that's
Yeah,
why I think it overtakes Game of Thrones. Because at least Game of Thrones only died once. This one came back to die again and hurt me twice.
Which is just so crazy, right? Because of the fact that that if you're gonna try to atone for your wrongs,
They
you
brought
want
Deb
to
back. They
you
brought
want to
Dexter
course correct
back.
and
Like
yeah, wasn't he like a logger or some shit in this? Like, because I haven't watched it, but
No,
they
Did you
even
remember-
brought they brought my boy, what was his name, Angel, back too. They brought
Angel.
the
David
fucking-
He
David
went to
Boreanaz.
David Boreanaz. He went there.
He
with
was on
Angel.
Dexter.
No, he's just talking about Angel.
Oh, okay. All right, because I love David Boreanaz. Anyway, I feel bad that he's like he can't work in film. He's tried, but a lot of those guys,
Yes. So
the
yeah,
supernatural
John
guys.
Lithgow-
Yeah.
Tyler reminded me. I think it's season 4. John Lithgow plays the antagonist in
Yeah.
season 4 of Dexter, and holy shit, is he good?
That was one of the seasons I heard from a lot of friends that was really good. Also, the Jimmy Smiths training him, taking him under his wing.
I think that's season 3.
Yeah, because I watched a little bit of the first season of the show, but I mean, HBO, man, that's one of my few things where I'm just like, okay, Welcome to Derry could be good because HBO is doing it, So, yeah.
And then True.
Maybe. Do we still have Luke? I'm waiting for the snark.
I'm dead. No, I was just letting that marinate, yo.
Yeah, it's like a mic drop where you have to have that silence sort of coolness. All right,
terrible.
So yeah, Dexter prequel, Christian Slater. I think Christian Slater is supposedly playing his dad, if I recall correctly.
Which is weird choice, because how old is Christian Slater now?
I think he's pushing 60, homie. Yeah.
Right, which is crazy because Harry. What's his? I can't remember his name, but I think his name is Harry on the show. I can't remember. I can do a quick IMDb search.
Oh, the dad?
But it's the guy from the dad from Dexter,
that's
who's
right,
in the Warriors.
He's playing Dexter's dad, if I'm not
James Remar.
No, that's a name I haven't heard in a long ass time.
Yeah, the illustrious lead from the Warriors. Yeah. He was old in the show. So why didn't they pick someone kind of in their 40s to play Dexter's dad in the reboot where he's supposed to be young? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Christian Slater likes to pass himself as late 40s, even though he's significantly older at this particular point. But I mean, shit, when you see the way that guys
Slater's 54. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of old.
Yeah, he's a little bit younger than I was thinking.
But Hollywood people don't age, so I'm sure he looks 39. I don't really have a frame of reference of what
only
Christian
the women
looks like.
don't age. Don't the men.
Well, I mean, hell, isn't it so much tougher for these women to get roles as they age compared to these men who seemingly remain steadfast in their appearance and all that crap? So, okay, so there is a origin story of Dexter that is coming. God, what was the one?
Probably be okay or bad.
Yeah,
is my prediction.
What was the one with Matt Dillon? Something.
The Outsiders.
No. House of something where he was a serial killer.
The House Jack built.
House Jack built. What did you think about that movie, man?
Pretty fucking
strange.
Pretty sick.
Strange in my estimation. I like the almost like walking through hell that you had at the very end of that film is very strange. It seems like something up Morgan's alley. Did you see that film?
I did see it, but I don't actually.
Was that James Von Trier?
If I remember it? It's one of those ones where it's like I've seen it, but then
it's got some brutal kills. It make you unsettled, so to speak. Kind of like in in A Killing or whatever that new one was that I was not that impressed with this past weekend, but it's totally all right. Okay, so Cecil gave us.
What are you talking about?
In A Killing
last weekend?
In A Killing Nature, the one that came out this past weekend.
Oh, you didn't like it? No, I'm supposed to see it tomorrow. Fuck.
No, it's not that I didn't like it. I was a little underwhelmed by it. Because Luke, I mean, shit, dude. You know me. I don't like crap on stuff. I always try to take more of an objective viewpoint. It's a
you
lot
do
of,
what we call pulling a Stuckman.
Maybe, but I mean that's what journalism used to always be, where you're not supposed to inject your opinion. You're supposed to be like when I was going to school at Arizona State, it was like, okay,
eat your heart out, Walter Cronkite.
Yeah, I know, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, man. Most deaf, and it's like you're supposed to put forward. Like you're supposed to report the news as opposed to make it an editorial period piece, and so much of that stuff has become askew and muddled over the years where you're trying to tell people how to think about something, especially if they read a review or watch a video before they watch something, like they're pre-injected and predetermined, before they see something.
I'm with you.
And I don't like that sort of mentality. That's why I don't watch any reviews until after I've seen a film and recorded or written something myself.
And even if I do, I take it with a grain of salt, because it's like your opinion and the way you view something isn't going to be the same way that I view something.
Totally. Art is subjective. Everyone's taste differ.
But I mean, because think about it like this: music. People are a lot more willing to use the fluidity with music.
Totally.
Lyrics will mean
unless
something.
It's like death metal or like rap rock or something like that.
I'm just saying that lyrics will mean something to you or they won't, and it's personal. And so sometimes it matters. Like, some people are like, oh, it matters what they meant when they were writing, and other people are like, I don't really care because it touched me. And so it may have been about politics, but it touched me in a way that resonated from my ex relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's because that's the point of art. Art is supposed to touch you on a personal level, and it doesn't always have to be
And that's
about...
why all the reactions will ultimately
Show me
be
on
a
the
little
doll
bit
where the
different.
art touched you.
Yeah.
Right. But it's, you know, if
I know we're
if
getting
the
a little
piece-
sappy here for a second,
If
but
the piece
yeah.
touches you, if it resonates with you, great. And if it doesn't, and some people are going to be more affected by something than other people, as we talked about just
Totally.
earlier today. And that doesn't make the movie good or bad. It just makes it what it is. And so unless you
accessible
know exactly
depending
what
on the
somebody
person who
likes,
was witnessing it. Yeah. Well, as far as lots of sequels going, though,
On that really quaint and beautiful note about like art touching you, Insidious 6 is coming out.
yeah, man, and I was really kind of thinking that after the most recent one that Homeboy directed from the series, and I really like him as an actor. His name is eluding me at this particular point, which really sucks. But I thought it
Which
was
one?
okay.
The guy who directed the 5th one?
The guy who directed the 5th one, he was the main character. I mean, him and Rose Byrne. Why is his name eluding me?
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson, correct? Yeah. So he directed the 5th one. I thought
goat.
I thought it was kind of an interesting novelty that he brought back that boy all grown up in college and everything. Did you see it, Morgan? Insidious 5?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't see it either.
Surprise, surprise! I'm the only one who watched it. You know, it
I was
wasn't
like,
bad.
damn, they're still making those motherfuckers.
I
It's
know,
only
man.
writing
You know,
because
it
this
wasn't
man right
bad.
Here keeps watching them. I'm just kidding.
It was.
I know,
not
Fuego
that's the thing.
single-handedly
I
keeping
see
the
everything.
franchise
I see
going.
everything, homies. Man, I see it all, dude. You know, I'm gonna go watch.
I was that way.
I'm gonna go watch
fresh out of high
Babes.
school.
I'm gonna go watch Babes.
Fresh out of high school, I was the same exact way. And
Yeah.
then about
I gotta
5
put that
years later, I
AMC
was like-
A-list, dude. I have 3 movies a week for my $20. I gotta get my money's worth, man. You know, even if I watch some shit, I'm gonna go watch Daisy Ridley swim across the English Channel on Thursday.
Listen to
you
me.
know, yeah, The
When
Woman
I
in the
was
Sea or
in-
whatever it's called. I'm
when
gonna
I
watch
was in
that shit.
college, Netflix was brand new, and they
Yeah.
still had their mail-in service.
Ah,
And I watched 3
I still have
DVDs
some
of
mail, like-
absolute bullshit
yeah.
every single week.
Netflix streaming too used to have so many bangers on
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, yeah.
it. It's like what Tubi is now, which is the best streaming service.
I mean, dude, look, especially for horror and genre sort of stuff, Tubi, which
Dude, I
is
just watched Near Dark on that bitch.
Oh.
God damn, is it good?
I think it's the only spot you can stream it, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
on any of the heavy hitters, man. And Bill Paxton.
Everyone go watch Near Dark on Tubi tonight. It's free, and that movie is fucking great.
Catherine fucking Bigelow, dude. And I mean, she was married to James Cameron at the time. How about a power couple in the late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, and she beat him
James
on the Oscar
Cameron,
for
yeah,
Avatar.
yeah.
Ah, suck it, Cameron.
Yeah.
I absolutely watched Solo on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, but I mean, Catherine Bigelow, what, Zero Dark 30, if I remember correctly?
So-
Near Dark, like, she's not done a lot, but she's very prolific in her own regard as far as, you know, women directors, and so, yeah.
Did she do Black Hawk Down, or she did?
She
Zero
didn't do
Dark
Black
30?
Hawk. Yeah, it was Zero Dark 30 was the
Oh, okay.
horror
Well,
movie that she did.
Well, I was trying to make a Black Hawk Down segue into what I'm now reading on the screen as they're
Yeah.
making 47 meters down 3. When was
Yeah.
2?
Yeah,
When
so-
was 2?
So I don't even know if Johannes did 47 meters down 2 because it obviously didn't have the very attractive pop
What is
singer.
Fall
They
2?
They did do it too.
What the fuck is Fall 2?
Did you see Fall where they were climbing up the
Clearly, if I don't know what Fall 2 is, I didn't see Fall 1.
all right, so Fall was where they this girl and her friend were
What
climbing
do they
up
do?
to,
Fall?
Well, they climb up to it's a climbing movie, so it's kind of got a cliffhanger sort of vibe, you know, like
the movie's a lie. I want to see them falling.
yeah. The adventurous. Well, it's all about the danger of falling and everything, and so this is
I
where
want
it's
them to
so
be falling
it's
the
so
whole
tough.
movie like the end of Point Break.
It's so tough not to have Cecil here for these because
He's right there.
he was the one who. No, I thought he went down. Last time
And I also read Riddick Furia as Furiosa. So I was like, what? Are we getting a crossover?
Yeah, 47 meters down the cage.
Okay, so Fall is, and if we're going to talk about that one specifically, Luke, since you brought it up, Fall was about a girl who was trying to, like, climb up this, like, huge tower as kind of a remembrance of a very close friend of hers, and then she ends up getting stuck up there, and she's trying to find her way down. Low budget, but very thrilling in that regard. Not a horror movie, much more. That's
a one location movie, isn't
it? Exactly. A setting thriller sort of vibe, and it was good. And it was good, which is why there's a sequel happening.
My boy Rubber Soul says it's the prequel to Winter 1. That's fucking ace.
Yeah, it's not bad, man. I mean, that's why.
Next one, Fall 2, aka Summer.
Okay, the one that I'm most excited for though is. It's seriously fighting around the world. Russell Crowe doing another Pope's Exorcist.
Is the Pope's Exorcist worth seeing? I haven't seen it.
I don't know if I would go as far as to say it's worth seeing, but it's amusing. Him on his Vespa and everything, and
I have seen that. I've seen the GIF.
I mean, dude, if it's streaming somewhere, I would say give it 90 minutes because his performance is fun, and you also have the actress who was in. Starry Eyes. She played the recasting of Shelley Long in Doctor Sleep, so she's a solid actress. Her name eludes me, unfortunately, but she's good, and she's the mom in that.
Bro,
it's fun. It's a fun little exorcism movie, dude. It's not gonna It's not gonna like part the seas Moses style or any shit like that for horror fans. But it's fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I liked it.
I'm down. I'm down. Let's let Russell Crowe make 100 more. Let's have him in the
He
new
has
Mike
another one
Flanagan
coming out
Exorcist
later
movie.
this year, dude. Excuse me, later this month. It's called what? The Exorcism, Cecil?
I want big fat Russell Crowe. I want. Did you see what was that movie Unhinged where he was just like 300 pounds and I want that size Russell Crowe in the new Mike Flanagan Exorcist movie.
Yeah,
make it happen.
I like the weird.
He's gonna fist fight Pazuzu to death.
The weird road rage revenge films. I'm a fan of those, man. I think they're. I mean, all the way back to Duel with. I know it never got personal with Spielberg, but yeah.
We're gonna remake The Hitcher again. Fuck it. Who cares?
Didn't they already remake The Hitcher?
Exactly.
Did, right? Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like My Bloody Valentine. We're gonna do it again.
We're gonna do it a third time.
Why
just
not?
like
Third time's a charm.
That's
right. See,
it definitely wasn't with Black
I'm
Christmas.
sure that's exactly what the executive said. Morgue.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Some guy
let's
into
do
an
it.
office.
Yeah.
He said, "Guys, I've got an idea."
Yeah. All right. So as we pivot to one that actually has some interesting DNA, if we're gonna actually get over to.
Speaking of monkeys and DNA,
yeah, I know, right?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was really sick, dude. I love those movies.
Dude,
they're
I
so
agree.
good.
I agree, and I'm actually one of those weird people who did not watch any of the previous trilogy because I was skeptical about it. Didn't.
Oh,
check
you
any of them
definitely
out.
should.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me.
First one's like a good 7 out of 10, but then the next two are like so much of a 10 that like I watch it and I'm like, oh my god, these have no right being this good.
And those are the ones Matt Reeves did, right? He did Rise and War, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Rise. Well, and I had never seen War until like a week before I saw Kingdom, because I don't know, I guess I was just fucking stupid.
Oh, it does.
It's monkey shines.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, monkey shines. Yeah,
it just
sorry,
says the monkey.
I have Morgan pointing out to me that so Monkey Shines was obviously a George Romero film, but
right.
Yeah, it's an easily accessible image that actually like bears witness and makes sense for this. It's based on a Stephen King short story from Skeleton Crew. Sorry, I'm gonna see if I can still hear Luke because I took the headphones off briefly.
I'm sorry.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, there's that handsome like Rusk like kind of. All right,
I actually just kissed the microphone for you. So
nicely done, sir. But yeah, man, just to pivot back to Kingdom, I was impressed with it. I like, especially from a visual effects standpoint, man. I mean, just how realistic those apes looked. I mean, most notably the orangutan, the Raka or whatever his name was, and I loved that character. I thought he was really dope.
Yeah, like a hippie ape was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fun. And I also, the guy who did, this is like a real deep cut. I don't know if anyone will even know what I'm talking about. The guy who did the guy who did the mocap for him is the dad cop of the girl that Carl was dating in Shameless. If anyone knows what I'm talking about.
No, I never watched Shameless. I know it had.
Shameless.
I know it had homie who was in the movie, right? William H. Macy.
William H. Macy was in it too. Damn, good shit.
Even though I never watched Shameless, I know William H. Macy, and yet there's a brunette on that show that I think is super babe, dude. Like, yeah.
The orangutan, his actor, he plays like a hard, no nonsense cop dad, like kind of like a James Avery type.
Oh,
and so, like when I looked at IMDb, I was like, no shit, that was him. Such
Nice.
like a different kind of role for him. It was neat.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, so that's a series that I think is in like good hands with how they can forge forward with all of the additional storytelling, man. I mean, yeah, bring that shizzle on.
Keep doing Shakespeare with monkeys. I'm fucking down.
And yet I'm very curious because the guy who directed Kingdom is doing the live-action Disney Zelda movie. And
yeah, he's got a good visual style.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the Maze Runners
live-action Disney Zelda. Okay, tell us why you don't think that'll work.
Disney Zelda?
Yeah.
Excuse me, my long.
Live-action Zelda.
Sure.
Oh.
It could work.
I mean, live-action Zelda.
I want them to do one like the Mario movie.
I think doing
Disney
from the 90s.
is where you threw me.
What they do with Ganon is gonna be the biggest kind of thing for me. Did they make him more humanoid? Did they make him more piggy? I guess
it'll be a big CGI monster.
Do they make it completely ridiculous and Disney-tastic?
Zelda is legitimately. I mean, Ocarina of Time and oh goodness, the first one that was on the N64, not Majora's Mask.
Zelda from Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm very curious about like he has a good eye for like big, very scope and scaling sort of fantasy in that sort of regard.
Pet
But
Cemetery ruined how cemetery is spelt for me forever. Stupid fucking Stephen King.
Yeah. And it is purposefully misspelled for all of the legions to see going forward.
Dumbass kids that. I'm just kidding.
Well, that was supposedly the funny aspect about it, right? Was the fact that the kids couldn't spell and they're trying to, you know.
I know, but it had to go on and be a famous book.
Yeah. Well, so as far as this adaptation goes, it's one of the. It's so strange with Stephen King, man, because of the fact that a lot of the horror show peeps know that. I was doing Hail to Stephen King since 2017, and then when I went back to school, I took a break because of the fact that King stuff had kind of simmered down a little bit. Cecil was doing DNN, I was going back to school and everything. But the fact that they're kind of cherry-picking very weird random stories like this one from Skeleton
We're in
Crew.
a second King-a-sance for sure. Like, it's like when they got all those miniseries in the 90s. It's they're just like, fuck it, what do we got? The Langoliers, whatever.
Which I would love for them to remake, by the way, dude, because I love plane-based thrillers like Passenger 57 and, you know, Air Force One and shit like that. I dig
and Soul Plane.
Soul Plane is fun. Snoop D-O-G, you know?
Stone, cute,
the Stone pilot who's gonna crash the plane. That shit was funny. But you know, the most interesting thing for me about this adaptation, because it's a very short story, it's like 20-something pages, and James Wan producing, fine, whatever. Osgood Perkins, you know, Osgood Perkins, son of Anthony Perkins, who, you know, was the villain in the original Psycho and the subsequent sequels that they made all those years later.
What do you mean? He just was a normal guy. He just liked to taxidermy animals.
Fly.
Yeah. But Osgood Perkins, man, I mean, even back when Cecil and I, along with shout out to Andrew Mercer, there's a film called Blackcoat's Daughter, which was directed by Osgood Perkins. It was his first film, and so he's also doing Longlegs. He also is doing this new Stephen King adaptation. So I think Osgood Perkins is a friggin' awesome director, man. And so for that reason, I am quite excited about this. However, they have to elaborate on the story because it's very condensed, and it's like, oh, a monkey with the symbols, you know, which, you know, based on the image was from Monkey Shines, but Yeah, I'm excited for this flick, most notably because Osgood Perkins is directing it, man. So, yeah. Anywho, as we jump along, sorry for crowding your space, Ms. Morgan. Okay.
Oh my God, Wes Craven's making another movie? How is that even possible?
Yeah, from the grave. Yes. It would be the most befitting thing, I suppose, that he could do. Okay. Man,
I mean, it is kind of funny. George Romero had a movie go out from beyond the grave. What was it? Amusement park? And
Yeah.
he invented zombies. That's kind of ironic. I must admit.
Dude, did you watch that movie? Because that shit was depressing, man.
Hell
It was
Hell yeah.
very
Getting
sad,
old
man.
sucks.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm about to cross over to the afterlife, and I'm like looking back at all the jovial times I experienced, and that flick depressed me. Even at like not even an hour, if I remember correctly, it was like 50-something minutes, man. But yeah, it was. You're gonna have a bad time if you pizza when you're supposed to French fry. You're gonna have a bad time. Yeah.
Are you viewers locking this in? We're getting deep existential crisis talk here, and then we're gonna jump directly into a silly killer dog movie remake. That's the kind of content you get over here on the horror show, baby.
Yeah, and man, so the Breed, like, I always think of the Brood, which was a Cronenberg film. And so for that reason, I get everything completely mixed up. But Cecil, did you actually? So Mike, so we're doing like the WWE. We're tagging in, man. Yeah, hell yeah. I did not see the Breed. I always get this confused with the Brood.
I don't remember ever
which was a
seeing it either, to be honest
Cronenberg
with you.
movie.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, so this may be a short little assessment of this, but yeah.
Anything Wes Craven produced is worth checking out, I think.
Yeah.
So
no stuff.
look busy. Hey, what was the consensus on the Poppy Playtime story? Have any of you guys?
We don't know what that is.
Okay, I thought that might be the case.
But no, I mean, give us some
I thought it said
insight
Poopy
about it.
Playtime.
So, like, was it a video game or?
Yeah,
was
so
it
Poppy
like
Playtime is basically the newest, closest to popularity to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Is it from the same like creative team or something?
No, it's a different team, but
Yeah, the chat helped us out with that, the Five Nights at Freddy's part.
yeah, you
good.
basically you play as you're assumed to be a ex-worker
Cecil
from the
2,
factory.
back from the nap.
You're an ex-worker from the factory, and what you end up finding out over the course of the first 3 chapters is that there's something called the Hour of Joy, where all of the toys that were made in this factory rebelled against all of the workers and killed most of them.
Is that 'cause you
And
sneak in?
That's interesting.
no,
actually.
I mean
Yeah, I dig that
you're
more.
there way after everything's been
Well,
closed
no, I
and
know.
everything.
I'm just saying, but in the backstory, like you sneak in or you stay late or whatever, and so you're like there.
No,
after
it's
everything.
you go there way after everything's been closed down and stuff.
I'm actually laughing at what Rubber Soul said. He's like, "Shit, Dad's back. Look busy."
But no, the characters are really interesting, and Huggy Wuggy is really cool and unnerving. Because I mean, I have a
What a
Huggy
funny
Wuggy.
sentence that is.
I have a giant Huggy Wuggy on the wall. We can't see him, but
Okay, so
basically,
that's the one from the still that you had.
yeah,
first,
the
right?
still
With
the
teeth
still
and
frame,
everything,
yeah. Just a giant furry, stuffed animal that kills and eats you.
I was about to say, like with those teeth, he's definitely going to consume
Yeah,
something.
so Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy are the male and female versions of those giant creatures. And then there's the antagonist for the second chapter.
And the Dubbeldorf is the bad
like,
guy, and the Gooby Whoopie is...
Mommy Longlegs is the second antagonist, and then
Are you making this up?
No, Catnap is the third antagonist, which is a giant furry cat creature
And
with
Litterbox
a
is his
maw.
nephew.
It's like a maw for a mouth, and it spits out gas to put you to sleep so it can eat you. So yeah, Poppy Playtime is actually a really, really cool story, and it's rife with possibility for horror. What I liked about the story is that Legendary is purposely trying to make
Gropey is the uncle.
an R-rated version of the story, so they're not going to shy away from gore the way the Five Nights series is.
No,
So that's
Yeah,
what
because
makes me
they
excited.
had to get that PG-13 and their
Yeah.
bitch movie.
yeah, which was very evident. Although there's that one scene where seems like a head comes off, even if it's very, very brief. With the way they did the cuts.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Jango Fett's head came
shadow,
off.
in the shadow.
Yeah. So then, is this entity or creature or whatever? Is it going after kids or adults or?
No, I mean everyone's dead. It's just you go into the thing and try and find out what's going on, and you have to survive.
Oh, okay.
There's
not
many people still there, and Poppy is a little doll that is possibly manipulating you behind the scenes, trying to get you to solve the mysteries of the factory and stuff.
Ghost Pirate he has your back, dude. He's like, it says it's a lot creepier than it actually.
Yeah,
says.
it really is.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Pirate, but stupid names are still stupid.
Kanan knows. No, I mean, well, that's the thing. It's kids stuff turned into horror. So it would be. Huggy Wuggy and
but like Woody and Buzz from Toy Story aren't called like Google Dooper and
Yeah, but they were aimed at a higher age bracket than Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy are.
Garden of Ban movie. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, so Garden of Ban is like the newest one that's trying to burst onto the scene, but it's already got like 7 chapters, and people are saying it's already way too convoluted. It's not good. It's not.
So they're still doing Five Nights at Freddy's knockoffs, huh? Still.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, Wally's Wonderland came before Five Nights,
Willy's
right?
Wonderland.
Willy's, yeah.
No, it didn't come before Five Nights at Freddy's. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie has been in development for years.
I know, but
it just couldn't get going, and they got Willy's Wonderland going first. Yeah. But yeah,
I still like the pinball scene where he's dancing to the '80s song and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Willy's Wonderland was fine. It's just. The Five Nights movie wasn't what it should have been, but it was.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland's a great movie if you don't have eyes or ears.
It's fun enough.
Yeah.
It's kids' toys, so that's why they have dumb names. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the point. Anyway, so I just wanted to circle back to Poppy Playtime because I had a feeling no one knew what the fuck it was.
Yeah, and that's why me and Morgan were just kind of dancing around it because neither of us were familiar. Like my only familiarity with the character was when you bought that at an event.
Yeah, I'm the oldest one on the channel, and yet I'm the most plugged into pop culture. It's pretty funny that way.
I don't think that's true.
That's why he's the showrunner.
Okay.
Stuff,
that's why he's the founder of the
Fair enough. Yeah. You keep thinking that, Luke. All right. All right.
Kidding. So, oh my God, Cecil's gonna get angry. He's gonna yell loud.
So no, we don't. None of us know what the breed is particularly. So. Yeah. We can't really.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer, obviously, because of the fact that if
it makes me want to go check it out because if it's Wes Craven's produced,
absolutely, yeah. If Wes Craven's estate has a hand in it, then most definitely curious in said regard. But
all right, so that leads us to the second to last.
Yeah, which
story,
Luke
we're finally to the Goosebumps
brought this
story.
Shit up earlier.
Let's go.
So yes, if you don't mind.
No.
So there is a new Goosebumps TV novelization that will resolve the first season cliffhanger ahead of season 2's all new cast and all new story.
I didn't even include
good, because I don't care about the cliffhanger.
Your inclusions, yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I can just skip the book and I can get what I wanted out of the show originally, which is an anthology about the fucking books.
Yeah,
Not a bunch of melodrama bullshit, and then maybe Slappy drops in for the last 3 minutes of the episode, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
So I watched the first episode of this series. You're telling me it's not worth continuing?
Not really, which is a shame, because whoever they got to do Slappy is really good.
Oh, okay.
So it's not Jack Black, obviously, like it was in the previous couple, right?
I don't think Jack Black did the voice of Slappy.
No, listen, I watched every episode. I eagerly awaited every episode. And it's got Justin Long who rocks. It's got the mom from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies who's really good. But it's just like it goes from like kind of okay teen horror to like fucking Riverdale level bullshit.
Which I heard Riverdale went way off the friggin' rails as they got into
the balance of
their
like
later seasons.
The balance of like Killer Worms and the Haunted Mask to like 35 minutes of teenage bullshit. Like imagine the worst parts of Stranger Things, and with a budget of $12. Like it was just no dice.
Fun. All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't go back for that. All right. Well, there you go. Though, if anyone did like the first season of Goosebumps, this novelization will finish it. Oh, really? They did the voice of Slappy too.
Yeah,
all right.
For that movie, at least the first.
It's been so long since I've seen it. I couldn't tell you.
And it was you and me and Dave who did a review out of the theater, and we were both just kind of like, It was
Yeah,
okay.
we were hoping for more.
I mean, yeah, I love that 90s series, man. I thought the 90s series was pretty gangster. But, yeah.
All right, so that leads us to the last story.
Yeah, which is an
that
interesting one, 'cause I
Terminator
forgot all
Zero
about this.
anime is coming to Netflix and will work to embrace the franchise's slasher roots. So they're going to try and make it more horror-esque. And
what the first film
quite
was.
frankly, anime is where all the interesting stuff is happening in animation right now.
Yeah.
To me, so
Agreed.
I'm fine with that. Although stuff like Arcane, that's finally pushing the envelope here in America. But yeah, I mean, otherwise animation is pretty boring, but anime keeps it interesting.
Yeah, the fact that there's so many property tie-ins, most notably that you see on Netflix at this particular point. I mean, we have The Witcher animated stuff, which was pretty cool. This is really kind of veering and expanding that.
Do we know what do we have any word on what the plot is going to be?
That's what I'm curious about. They haven't
the trailer
divulged
that they
any of
put
that.
out was literally just a series of still images of artwork from the show.
Yeah, because I remember...
Because I wonder...
Sorry,
what were you going to say?
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, Luke, that they did the Salvation CGI animated series around the time that they did that film with Sam Worthington and Scream at Everybody Christian Bale, as for anybody who's seen the behind-the-scenes stuff where he's, like, cussing his ass off and going nuts as John Connor. And but I actually kind of like that series. I own it on DVD, and it's not bad, but... yeah, the fact that we don't have any details, if they're gonna go more slashery or whatever, which is all the headlines are saying, I'm assuming they're gonna veer timeline-wise, to some of the earlier stuff as opposed
That's
to
fine,
forging
but my
to the future.
immediate question is, will it be about the T-800 Cyberdyne Systems Model 101?
Yeah.
Or will it be about a different robot?
I think
And
they have to go different at this
I think
point.
it might be too. Yeah.
Well, and my hunch was actually the opposite. Is they're going to go back to the Arnold well because we don't have to. We don't have. He can be old because it's a fucking cartoon.
Have him voice it, maybe.
Exactly.
Kinda bit?
That was my
Okay.
immediate thought.
Yeah, but
I mean, I
he
wouldn't
doesn't
put it past
sound
him, man.
young. Like, you can't get a 60-plus-year-old
They
to play a
Did you hear
fucking
Indiana Jones
20-year-old.
5?
Yeah, it was awful.
It was better than 4.
Exactly.
but it wasn't
They're never
much
going to
better.
stop.
They're never gonna- Doesn't mean we should encourage it.
I'm not encouraging it.
I don't even know if
they're going
anybody-
to do it whether we like it or not.
I don't even know if anybody is encouraging it aside from the people hoping to make money from said IP. So yeah.
Tyler
Yeah, we
asks-
have the IP and we have to do something with it.
Yeah.
Tyler asks a good question. Excuse me. What would the zero be in reference to? The
Zero creativity.
T000?
I mean, I would maybe say like the first model of this particular
Wouldn't that be the
Terminator, maybe
Model
prototype?
01?
Well, I
you know?
mean that's the thing. The prototype before it goes fully official.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but wasn't
I don't know.
It wasn't literally the plot of. Wasn't that a huge plot point of the first Terminator? Was that because Kyle Reese even has that line about like the 600s have rubber skin, they were easy to
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be something worse than Arnold.
Dare I say,
Yeah.
Luke? I don't think they're doing any fucking homework when it comes to that sort of deep diving. They're probably
Yeah, any deep dive at homework,
which is really sad, right? You know,
meaning
when you're
passively paying attention to the dialogue of the first movie.
Yeah, it's such a travesty because I really do not think that you have people who are crunching all of the prior source material as often.
Which is a crock
you
of
know?
shit. In this case, there's like 5 movies and like
Yeah.
a half a TV show you got to watch.
Yeah, it's,
Fuck off.
yeah. I mean, but Netflix animation though, Castlevania specifically,
They'll
really
fucking produce
really
anything
well
but
done.
Mindhunter season 3.
Yeah, I
God
know.
damn it.
It's a lot more expensive with those actors and David Fincher's,
Yeah, a lot more expensive.
payroll
Did
and
you see
everything.
that fucking stupid Pop-Tart movie they just put out? Fuck
Unfortunately,
off.
I
don't wanna
watched a little bit of it, and there's few times, man, where I turn stuff off.
hear it. It even had Bill
Turned it
Burr
off.
sucking. That's
Yeah.
hard to do.
Yeah, I turned it off, man. I was that disappointed with it, and Seinfeld is kind of floundering.
Terminator Zero, the search for
Yeah.
more money.
Yeah. Oh, the Spaceballs reference. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll
Yeah,
give it a
same.
try at least.
Yeah,
you know?
I will too.
I love a good anime. So.
There's that new video game that they put out in the last year too. There's that and the RoboCop video game. That
Yeah, I
want
want to check out the RoboCop one.
I'm very curious about both of those, but
But yeah,
Yes, RoboCop.
Yeah.
Treating Detroit with as much class as it actually has.
And yeah, guys, I mean, there's a few things we didn't include, like the fact that they're making a new Blair Witch movie, which is just bonkers. I mean,
Why?
it's all about the
Stop.
yeah, and you've got people suing from the original cast, like the
Trying to
makers
make
of
sure
the
they
new
get a little
film,
kickback.
all this other silliness, like
Yeah,
there's-
way to wait 30 years before going after that bad guy.
well, you have to be opportunistic, right? You know,
Fucking idiots. What were you in a coma?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot that Cecil and I did not get the chance to talk about in the last, like, month and a half, almost 2 months since the last time we did a new segment, but we took an eye and a focus upon this stuff, and, you know, it was pivotal bits as, I don't know, the big thing, as if we can, like, kind of put the cherry on top with this, I think that horror is just fine compared to big budget sort of stuff, because of the fact that the big gripe that is happening with all of the Stuckmans and the Dan Murrows and John Campions and all these people that I watch is about the death of going to the cinema and how all of these big budget things are underperforming. Horror movies are made for a smaller budget, guys, and for that reason, I think horror is just fine in a theatrical sort of setting.
Horror's always going to be there.
It always will. Yeah.
Cecil took the words right out of my mouth, honestly.
Yep.
Like, horror will never be in jeopardy because exactly what Fuego said, too. They're cheaper to make. They're such a wide... You can make a horror movie about any genre, too. Bone Tomahawk is a Western horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
You got The Exorcist, which is a dramatic horror movie, and so on and so on. Like, anything you want to do.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, man. And, I mean, the big thing is that when you have such a small budget entailed with a film, when you overperform, it's like such a jovial, like, just like fist-pumping Rocky on the stairs sort of moment in comparison with... I don't know, some shit like Fall Guy, for instance, which I saw the other day, and it was fun enough, but...
it fucking ripped.
But, yeah, it was fun,
Best movie of the year.
I don't know if I'd go that far, man, but it was fun.
I would.
And yet,
I've seen it 3 times.
And yet the fact that it was like almost $200 million, and it struggled at the box office, and Furiosa, which was also gangster.
It's alright, I'll single-handedly get it over the hump.
Yeah. But, I mean, also Furiosa underperforming. I mean, all this different stuff, like, I think, like, the... theater exhibition bit, there is some discourse that kind of needs to happen about just maybe just like keeping budgets a little more, you know, reasonable in comparison, which horror has always done. Shit, dude, Night Swim is the most it's that and what, First Omen are the 2 highest grossing of the year for horror. I didn't hate Night
You're gonna
Swim
hear
like a lot
you're
of
gonna hear
people.
my hot take that I bet is gonna make both of them upset. First Omen, most overrated movie of the year so far.
Really? Did you like it better than the one with Tit Sweeney though? I mean,
I didn't even see Tit Sweeney's one.
it was a lot better than that one, man.
Aside from one Satan coming out of a cooch, it's like, all right, let's get it.
I just like the girl from Servant. If you've seen that show, something Tiger Free. She's the main one in First Omen. The actress who's in it. I don't know. She's
Abigail's my favorite horror movie of the year right at this time.
You mentioned that earlier. My personal favorite is stop motion, actually, because we're
stop motion's up there too. That one was.
It's just
the squishy noises at the end with the leg.
It's the disturbing bit where she's just like, I love it, and then the movie's over, and you realize what's happened, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that shit disturbed me.
Abigail was gory glory, hallelujah.
Yeah. Cecil, what's your favorite of the year so far, man?
The favorite what?
Favorite horror movie of the year. Do you have one, or
I'd have to think.
If we put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm not making that decision until I have to.
Okay, yeah. It was just because Luke was like very proudly saying Abigail is his favorite.
Yeah, I don't have one like that.
It fucking rips.
Yeah.
It's the last time. I can't remember the last time I was in a theater and people cheered when someone exploded.
I felt like it went bit off the rails in the third act, man. That was my only gripe, where there was like a lot of stuff that happened very, very quickly. You know, with Juan Carlo and the oh goodness, British guy that I like so much. He was also in X-Kong.
Dan Stevens.
Yeah. Dude. He was also
from The Guest.
And also a great Netflix movie where they were like trying to crucify him as a heretic or something. It's been a while since I've watched that movie, but it's really awesome.
Fuck yeah, Raymond. Abigail sweep.
Yeah. Abigail was fun though, and to think that Kevin Durand is also voicing that monkey, man, I'm just like, wow.
Proxy.
All right,
what a wonderful day.
Exactly.
Kevin Durant is awesome.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's the shit, man. So
when I was watching the opening credits of Abigail, I thought it said Kevin Durant, and I
yeah,
was like, what?
I know he plays for a basketball team, and he's been not gelling despite putting up really good numbers. So yeah.
Rest in peace, Angus Cloud.
Yeah. So did you have anything else you wanted to
No,
check
man,
with,
I think
or?
we've pretty much covered it. Yeah. Sorry, I was
Luke, this was
checking
a
some messages.
pleasure, man. Oh, so awesome getting to bounce some ideas off with you, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, guys, stay tuned. Once Luke and I have a few more things ironed out, we are going to be starting Horribly Confused. For those of you that may not have seen it yet, I can play the animation for you real quick.
Oh, it's fun,
Yeah,
man.
do it up.
Yeah, with the censored.
While you're getting that ready, I recently hit 6,000 subs. So
Nice.
fucking sick.
Yeah.
So thanks to anyone and everyone who's
God.
over there at Confused Reviews.
Oh my
Salud,
God! Excuse me.
senor.
Sorry.
And God bless Cecil.
Yeah. Hang on, just a second. Let me make sure that this is the correct version. I want to show the correct version.
Yeah, we got to make sure the ghost is covered up. Little guy can't be showing his little ghost wiener.
I was thinking more about the logos on
His
the
ghost
wall.
balls.
Wow, it's taking forever to load up. Love that. Thanks, computer. It's one video, and you're like, oh, let me see. Oh, let me try. It's still loading. Jesus Christ, it's a 20-second fucking video.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Suspense
the one.
is terrible.
All
Hope
right.
it'll last.
Okay, here we go. I'll load it in now.
Hopefully Luke will have more free time to speak up on the Luke show and not be so reserved. Exactly.
So whose idea was the shower, guys?
Hang on.
Definitely Cecil. I had no input on the intro. I just approved it because it's sick.
Yeah. You're like, I just lent my
All right, here we go.
awesome creativity and so
I
on.
like the little body part flying too. That was
Yeah, the little appendage. After...
All right, well, let me show it to people before you talk about it.
Oh, sorry.
Got it.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know. My allergies have been just kicking my ass
so
recently
bad.
too, man.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. I still love how the rubber ducky is slowly floating through the blood pool, dude. It's good
Well, and
stuff.
it's there before. It's there without.
Oh, I
the
know. I
blood.
saw it before, but
Yeah.
the fact that it's just kind of floating along through
Yeah.
the blood pool is pretty fun.
So that is the animation for Horribly Confused. We're very excited about it. It's basically going to be as regular as we can try, hopefully monthly when we can, but we're going to have different segments that we're going to do, and we're going to have audience interaction and lots of fun. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Hopefully we can figure out a date to launch that in July at the latest, hopefully. So
Nice.
so yeah, I think that's going to do it.
Maybe sooner actually.
Okay.
Things might be opening up in a moment. We'll see.
All right.
TBD, ladies and squirms.
Fair enough. We will keep you guys in the loop. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you to everyone that has contributed in the chat. Ghost Pirate
Raymond,
says coffee table is number 1. See, there you go. Yeah. it's-
Raymond,
Yeah.
Mike, Ghost Pirates, my boy Rubber Soul, Tyler.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Motionless Zombie.
Movie Mike,
A lot
yeah.
of perp minded. Where was my guy? I think his name was Justin or something. He said that I added some flavor to the show. God bless you.
Nice.
And
Absolutely.
everyone. Horror will never die, baby, just like Cobra Kai.
Although it is
right.
about to end, and then they have the film that is coming out, right? So, no, man,
It never
Luke,
dies.
yeah, Luke, thanks so much, man. It was great to have some discourse with you, brother. And
Yeah. Thanks
What's up,
everyone
homie?
for
Likewise.
watching.
Yeah.
Until next
Likewise,
time,
everyone.
remember,
stay